What's up, everybody? All right. I got to have a little 27-year-old pour here because I'm turning 27. So this is, I'll just have a little one. This is from Lido Cortez. This is a little Dewar's 27 double aged, finished in Palo Cortado sherry casks. It's a little scotch to start the night off at 46% ABV. What is up? Good to see all of you here on this Thursday night. I wish I could see everybody's faces. Talking to the live chat, but it's good to be hanging out this evening. What is it? July 22nd. July 22nd. Cheers to all of you. First sip of the night. Very, very excited about this. Got some giveaways. At least one. We could do another one. We'll just see kind of how the night goes. Maybe some guests, drinking some good whiskey, all that kind of good stuff. So let me get the chat up here. Cheers. 27-year-old scotch. I have yet to find something distilled in 1994, though. That is, something in 1994. I want to get maybe like a Wild Turkey or something like that. I don't know, or maybe bottled in 94 even, that I can sip on every year. All right. The chat is funny. Oh, man, that's a great scotch. 27-year double Dewar's, aged or finished in Palo Cortado sherry casks. Speaking of Palo Cortado, and someone who's been examining the influence of sherry casks and studying it and presenting all that information, Eric Waite Whiskey Studies is in the house. 27 when I was your age, Methuselah was in diapers. Okay, I'm going to catch up with the chat here, guys. I do want to get pulled up my YouTube studio thing, my sort of stream analytics, just to make sure I have that up here on my screen down below. So give me 2 seconds. We'll get that up. Please hit that like button if you haven't already as we get going here. Yes, Keith, I just saw your comment, man. I'll get that in a second. Yeah, please hit that like button. That would be really awesome. Let me do the pop-out chat here. That way I can get this up. There we go. I like the YouTube chat more than the StreamYard chat. It's so much easier to go through. And to see, if you guys tag me in comments, it's so much easier to do that over on the YouTube chat as opposed to in StreamYard. I can actually see it there. Well, what's up? I've got a little list of things I want to get through here at the beginning of the stream. Like I said, we might have a little special guest or even two special guests jumping in here. I'm not entirely sure if everybody is confirmed yet or not. But the Greaster might be in here in about 10 minutes. And Trev Wilson is going to try to make it in and hang out for a little bit as well. So that's really exciting. Let me scroll back here and see who's in the chat. Johnny Utah, birthday pre-gaming. Is that John M? Is that John M with a new name on here? I don't know. Carlo Mack, Red Baron in the micro. Oh, man, I love a good Red Baron. Come on. Cheers to you, man. That is awesome. Let's see. Cheech is in the house. What is up? JG Whiskey, cheers. Cheers to you, Tom. And Tom, I'm going to see you on Saturday. I'll talk about that in a second. Just to let everybody else know what's going on with that. You obviously know what's going on with that. Hey, we got 29 in here. Please hit that like button if you do jump in and check out the live stream. That would be really, really helpful. What's up, Amy? Hey, Amy, let me know. Tag me in a comment. Is there any way you could track super chats tonight? That would be awesome. I'm not planning on a super late stream or anything, but if you could track, that would be really helpful. Or if another wrench could track, that would also be great. We are going to do at least one giveaway this evening, so let me know. Sugar Kitty, what's up? Uta is also in here hanging out with Carlo Mack. Let's see. A lot of birthday wishes. Thank you, guys. Yeah, first legal drink. That's funny. Okay, I'm catching up now. So Keith, yeah, so the cigar blend is maybe going to get killed tonight. I have like just a little. Well, actually, I have more than a little. I don't know that I'm going to kill it tonight. I might leave one little sip for another occasion. But that's definitely on its last leg, unfortunately. 27-year Scotch, not that hard to find. A 98 Klein Leach, which wasn't horribly expensive. 94, definitely doable. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, I think Scotch is maybe the way to go. Finding something like a dusty bourbon from that year might be more expensive than actually just buying an expensive bottle of Scotch, you know. What's up, Guy? Good to see you, man. Things are looking up here in Columbus, which is awesome. Peter White's got the Deanston version of this Paulo Cortado finish. All right, AM65, thanks for the super chat, man. You have the same birthday as my best friend. So, unfortunately, today's not actually my birthday. I lied. No. My birthday's on the 28th, which is next week. It's actually Wednesday night, and you would think that I could live stream on Thursday, but unfortunately, I have another scheduling conflict with next week's live stream, and I don't want to go live on Wednesday night because I don't want to step on Jason's toes, mash and drum. You know, I don't want to do something like that. So, unfortunately, I can't do a live stream next week. So I'm doing a little birthday stream right now. You know, it is what it is. But yeah, my birthday's in a couple of days from now, on the 28th. All right, what do we got here? Thank you guys for the birthday wishes. I appreciate it. This is so this weekend is like sort of a birthday weekend for me, and also in a way sort of like a wedding shower. It's really minute because Sarah and I are getting married gosh, in about 5 weeks at this point. But we're not really doing anything. We're going to Colorado just with our parents. They're gonna meet us out there. We'll have a tiny little ceremony, just the couple of us, you know. Family friend is going to marry us. And so this weekend is a little bit like a birthday party for me, but also sort of like a wedding shower, you know, kind of thing. So that's what's going on in my life. And I've got a concert as well this weekend with Michael Bolton, of all people. So Michael Bolton is coming in to play with the Columbus Symphony. And so that's going to be my Saturday, which is interesting. You know, I've never played with Michael Bolton, but my grandmother was a big fan before she passed. So that's going to be pretty neat. Mine was the 19th and enjoyed it while drinking the new Booker's Tag-Along batch. Tonight it's a 9-year, 120 proof. Thank you, man. Thank you. And those are some good choices, especially that Tag-Along batch. That's sort of like, as far as Bookers are concerned, recent releases, I actually like the Tag-Along batch quite a bit. I should revisit that soon. I really should. Oh, Cohen says 27-year Glendro. That would be like a dream come true. That is my favorite whiskey, Scotch whiskey distillery, maybe whiskey distillery, actually, Glendronach. The Michael Bolton. Yes, the Michael Bolton will be here in town. So I don't know if he's going to be like a total diva superstar or not. I don't know if I'm going to get to say hello, right? But yeah, he will be here. He's doing a bunch of tunes, like 20 different, you know, songs. So, you know, we'll kind of see how it goes. So that'll be kind of fun. I'm old enough to drink now. I mean, this is every other time it's been apple juice, you know, or sparkling cider or something. So I had a friend who dragged his birthday every 2 or 3 weeks as well. That's funny. I never, you know what? I never have birthday parties or any, like, I don't even have get-togethers with my friends or family. So to do a birthday live stream, I was like, screw it. Let's just do it, you know? All right, so let me tell you guys about the giveaway tonight before we get into the stream and everything like that, before the Greaster pops in, which is probably going to happen pretty soon. So in Columbus, Ohio, we have a local distillery, High Bank, and High Bank with their Whiskey War Barrel Proof, which is now over 4 years old. The Whiskey War Barrel Proof actually won the San Francisco competition for best blended whiskey. You know, I mean, it's really good stuff. It kind of reminds me, excuse me, a little bit of the NASA Family Reserve stuff, in that it's got a lot of rye influence. It's really blended towards that sort of green quality, you know, that kind of rye forward quality, even though it's not a rye whiskey. And so they just released today 800 bottles, distillery only release, limit 2, right? So I picked up 2 of them. Of this double oaked. So they've done one batch of double oaked already. That was probably last year when they did it. And this year, this is now the second batch of double oaked. So they take some of their whiskey, I think it's like 2.5 or 3 years old, and they throw it in a new barrel for another 18 months. All right. So that is going to be the giveaway for this evening. Is going to be this. It retails for about $65 plus tax. And I popped mine open so I can give you guys some tasting notes here as well at the beginning of the stream or throughout the stream if you want. But, you know, High Bank for me was never really a distillery of choice locally until these recent releases. The Whiskey War Barrel Proof that won the San Francisco competition was shockingly better than anything I had ever had from them. They also have a Cabernet finish, which was like a one-time release so far that was amazing. I thought that stuff was fantastic. And the double oaked, I also really, really like. So, yeah, and Aiden says the High Bank is good. So Aiden got a sample of the Whiskey War Barrel Proof that won the competition, and that is some really good stuff. So this is basically the double oaked version of that. It is really, really fantastic. So that is the giveaway bottle for tonight, at least the first giveaway bottle. If the super chats start flowing, then I can throw in another bottle or a sample pack or something else, you know, happy to do that. But that's what everybody is going for tonight. That's going to be every $5 super chat gets you 1 entry to that giveaway. So every $5 super chat, let me put up the banner here of High Bank Whiskey War Double Oaked. Here we go. So we got the little banner. All right, there you go. So Dave, jump in with the super chat. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Thank you for the wedding wishes as well. I'm excited to marry Sarah, you know? She's my best friend. I was going to try to drag her on tonight, but she just got out of the shower, so she's not going to hop on the stream, but that's okay. Jay, thanks for the super chat, man. 877 MASH now. Absolutely. Guy Davis says, you're probably like most Buckeyes I know and have been drinking for more than a few years. Drinking since I was 17, Guy. Don't tell my parents. Yes. I tell you what, I got to get a bottle of that Dewar's 27-year double-double. Double-double. I feel like I'm at In-N-Out. I wish we had In-N-Out here in Ohio. That's some excellent stuff. All right, so let me check my little to-do list here at the beginning of the stream. Make sure I'm moving right along. What's up, Tom? Thank you for the super chat, man. And Tom, since you're local, did you get a bottle of the double oaked, the High Bank, or did you pass on that? For me, $65. It's like a little steep for something like this, you know. But I like it, you know. The one sip I've had so far, I've got it poured out here. It's been sitting out for quite a while. Get some air into it. I actually like it. So the $65, craft distillery, small batch, of course, 800 bottles. So yeah, the bottle is too small. 375s are so sad. Daniel says, wish I enjoyed whiskey to this degree when I was 26. It's good and bad. You know, it's like financially, it's bad. It's at an age like this, it's not great. But, you know, I do like the fact that I think down the road 10 years and feel like I'm going to have like some decent whiskey knowledge at that point, right? You know, and maybe be able to really spin this out into something I do officially part-time or something like that. Thanks, Aiden, for the super chat. Won't be here long, but you have my email. Did you ever try Leprous? No. I'm sorry, man. Things have been crazy. I have not checked out some of those suggestions you sent me, but I will. I promise. Not a huge fan of the High Bank stuff until you started extolling it. Yeah, there's 3 releases so far from High Bank that I think are pretty phenomenal, but it's really hit or miss. Same thing with Watershed, but that's more of just a miss. Okay, let's check it out here. Yeah, this is it's a really sweet version of the Whiskey War. This double oaked, it's absolutely fantastic. It's got a lot of nice sweet and toasty notes. Okay, so I talked about the giveaway. Yeah, last live stream was 2 weeks ago. I jumped on with Drew P, and that was a great live stream. If you guys want to check out the replay on that, we had a really great time. Brian Bikey, Drew P, and myself on that live stream. Like I said, next week there won't be a Thursday night live stream, so I've got to kind of figure out my scheduling here. Let's see. Yeah, upcoming videos. So tomorrow, Larceny B521. That video is going to drop tomorrow. It might be tomorrow evening on a premiere. I've also got Discovery 5 recorded. I've got Stellum Rye recorded, and I've got Balcones Lineage. Those are all the reviews on the way at this point. Bottles in the mail, Blue Run 14, Chattanooga Bottled and Bond, and a lot of Good Times picks. So I'm stoked about those. That's what's on the way. Oh, and yeah, the last thing I should say here. So guys, I was recently put on the PR marketing list, and I just want to be upfront about it with everybody on the live stream for Still Austin, Barrel, Stellum, and Traverse City. So those guys are all sending me samples. Traverse City actually sent me full bottles of their barrel proof stuff and their North Coast Rye. So, you know, if you see those reviews coming out, I'll be super upfront about the fact that they gave those bottles or samples to me. But I just wanted to let you guys know it's pretty exciting to get contacted by some of those distilleries, you know, even more distilleries now for the channel. So that's really, really great. Yeah, Daniel, the Discovery 5 review is on the way, man. I apologize. I'm going to be posting an uncut version of that review on the Patreon as well. So, all right, guys. Well, please hit that like button. We got a little somebody just popped in here, so I got to get my headphones on so I can listen to his beautiful voice, the voice of a champion. I mean, it's it's like he's on the back of a chariot riding through the sky. Who is it? The Icarus. He is Icarus. He's a champion. All right, here we go. Bluetooth. Got to get the old Bluetooth up here. And then I'm going to pour something really nice. It's a birthday pour. So we're going to drink some 1983 Old Granddad bottled in bond for the occasion. Let's see. Where are you at, AirPods? All right. Let's welcome our beloved guest. What's up, Grease?
Well, I was trying to share it on socials real quick. I was like, oh, man, just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. Anyway, I'm here.
Oh, what is up, man? You are the champion.
Yeah, dude, what a wild ride that was yesterday. I don't know if you could have asked for a better, well, Kyle could. But
oh geez.
I'm just kidding. No, I don't think you could have asked for a better finals. Like on paper, you have two people that went undefeated on opposite ends. One was probably 16 seed going into the tournament. I'm referring to myself. And you know, and they get to the finals. So you've got like this underdog versus like, I mean, I was telling Kyle last night, your channel's called like Bourbon Blind. Like you should have this like on lock. Like it's only natural that you were in the finals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway, so you've got this expected to be there, and you know, this little pawn over here. And then the finals go down, and they're just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then Matt Porter, with a stroke of genius, doesn't tell us what our points are, and says, do you want one final question to, you know, for a percentage point increase of your, you know, your total points, which you don't know. And then whatever your percentage you bet, that's what you multiply if you decide to even answer the question.
Right.
So anyway, I was like, it was so bizarre. And then Kyle and I were messaging back and forth a little bit today. And just the psychology in that moment, I was like super analyzing it like last night and today. And I was like, because I was going with 25%. But prior to that, I actually said, if you go back, I say ball's in your court, Kyle, you decide. And that's when he said, I wouldn't mind trying one more pour or something like that. And so I was like, okay, game on. Now, when he said that, I was also thinking, like, if he wants to do it, but it's 0, because the strategy could have been too of him saying 0 and me saying 25, and we guess it, and he guesses it more than me, and then that way I drop. Like, you could be banking it the other way too. Yeah. So, but anyway, we got in there, we chose our percentages, and I knew I was down.
Yeah.
In my head, I didn't know the exact points, but I was trying to calculate as we were going. I was like, okay, I think he's got me by 2 or 3. Well, it ended up being 1, so it was closer than I thought, which was great. But then the only thing in my head that I knew to do, I was like, I have to gamble points. Like, that's the only way to do it. So, and as soon as, and I think I also said, oh my gosh, this is going to come down to the percentage, like 10 minutes before that, but, or during the reveal of everything. And, anyway, it was,
it was fun to watch. I was in and out for a while, and then I tuned in for the last like 30 minutes for the drama, and right. I was there with my fiance watching it, and yeah, man, I mean, look, I'm Team Grease. You kick my butt, and well,
you're I'm sweet. Cool. It's only because I said you're ridiculously good looking, like on a live chat.
Man, yeah, I don't know. I don't look. I was like I was bummed that I lost to you, man, but I was like, you know what? There was no Bobby situation. It wasn't like I could have done anything better. It was like I flat out lost, and I should have called this Knob Creek bottle, but you still would have beat me on a tiebreaker. So I was like, I'll take
what I loved. What I loved about our round was how even though we didn't necessarily have the same answers, we were picking up on a lot of similarities.
Yeah.
And our palettes were kind of pretty close aligned. So I thought that was cool. Cause I mean, you just never know. Like, I might have somebody that I've known for 5 years and they're a great person. And then, they might think my palette's crap. You know what I mean? Just because
the character
we're not, it's not aligned. It's like, no, I actually like to taste Band-Aids. Like, what? Are you kidding me? Are you an idiot? Like, I would break up with somebody that was my best friend in that moment if he's like, hey, I love Band-Aids. I'm like, I don't understand.
I love to lick tires, man.
Can I fill you in on one behind the scenes thing that we figured out right after we went live or went down last night after the competition?
What?
So we're backstage talking, chilling, and at the beginning of the episode, I explained that I didn't know I was having problems deciphering Turkey and Heaven Hill right now. Normally I can do it really well, but like the past couple of weeks when I've just done a few blinds just to practice, I was not doing well. So I brought to the bar to drink last night the Russell's 10 that I was talking about, but then I had this right here. If I would have chosen to sip that casually during the night, instead of this Russell's, dude, this exact pour was freaking B. And I told Matt on the phone today, I said, dude, look back at my messages. I gave him the bottle names for A, then I went to C, D, and E, and then I circled back to B, and there was 5 seconds left, and I was just like, freaking A, Jack Daniels number 7. Like, I was like, I don't know. And it's so hilarious. I don't know what the deal is with Heaven Hill and Wild Turkey right now. I can't get it. And I mean, I've done a tasting competition, not a competition before, but like I was just over at a buddy's house and he's like, "Oh, you got to taste this whiskey out of my decanter. It's amazing." I take it and he goes, "What do you think it is?" And I said, he was expecting me to say something higher end, like it was fancy. I said, "This tastes like Heaven Hill Bottled and Bond 6-year." And he was like, "It is." So like I know Heaven Hill, or at least did prior to this 2-week whatever funk I'm in.
Yeah.
And then Wild Turkey, I'm really good at picking up on Dusty Turkey, like 82-ish to 96-ish. You know what I mean? Like
with the vintages and everything. Look at that. You know all your vintages.
Well,
this is some 83 turkey. The soil was a little dry that year.
Oh, I do sound terrible, don't I? All right, so the Heaven Hill, it ended up, and if I would have just been trying that, I would have had everything on that pour as soon as I would have tasted it. Probably not on the nose, but tasting it for sure. Yeah.
Well, on our competition, I was drinking Eagle Rare before the stream started, and the first glass was Eagle Rare. I think glass A for us was that. So
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. On our round,
I think it was Eagle Rare. So
yeah. So, but on our round, the pour B or 2 or whatever we want to call it, I was so locked in on the nose round of that being Weller 12 because that was the weeder, and I got points for that. But I was so locked in that it was Weller 12, I just could not get away from it. And I was like, I said, Matt is like such a, I don't want to make anybody mad. And I was like, in a tasting, either he's going to go one tasting is one company, or he's going to make sure that all 4 of those pours represent a different brand or company. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like, I felt like that was the case. So I didn't even think that A could be Eagle Rare. I did on the nose part. I wrote Eagle Rare on my notes, but then when I came to the tasting round, I was so sure that was Weller 12. It ended up being Old Fitz, but it, Bottled and Bond, but it was not. And then A was definitely Eagle Rare. I didn't think that he would have 2 Buffalo Trace products back to back. Just couldn't shake it. Shake it.
Man, so after that stream, we stayed on till like, I don't know, 2 a.m. or something. And I was like half asleep, and I was like oddly hammered at that point. And I don't know why, because I don't feel like I got hammered during the tasting. But like, I remember sitting there listening to you guys talk, and I was like, and then I realized like, oh shit, I have an 8 a.m. rehearsal. I got to get off here, And I was like, I just remember waking up the next day, not really knowing what happened. And I was like, oh fuck, I lost, Like, yeah, I don't know, man. I was really out of it in that conversation. So, but man, I remember,
dude, I struggle bust that night too. I think it was that hazmat light whiskey.
That might have been it.
Yeah, like I got sick that night for the first time in I don't know when.
Oh, really?
I don't remember the last time I got sick. I got sick that night, right after our show, right after we got off backstage, probably within 30 minutes.
Yeah,
it just went quick, man, because I don't know. It was not great, but so I made sure this time, and like Will's texting me like, bro, don't keep drinking backstage.
Yeah.
I like literally took a picture of my pours and, showed him that like they're 1 ounce samples. I probably had half of an ounce of each pour. And then the casual drink. So I was probably at 5 ounces in 3 hours, so nothing crazy.
Yeah.
But I do think that's good. Like Will and I have each other's back as far as just like, hey man, like you let it go too far last time. Like I've got your back. I don't want you to be in that situation anymore. And like, and that's just, he's a great friend, and we've got some other friends that do that for us too. So, I mean, I hate to bring it down right now, but it's like, you gotta be like, you gotta be responsible. You gotta, it's not just, you gotta know your limit. You gotta know how to, make the whiskey, the definition of it being just a good hang, a good time, a good experience. You don't want to ruin that,
Yeah.
So anyway, it's good.
Now, well, how long? So let me ask you this, because for me, man, I've only been seriously. How serious is drinking whiskey? I mean, that's just I shouldn't even say that. I've only been seriously drinking whiskey for like 2 years, right? Before that, it was like I would keep a bottle of Woodford at my house and drink it over ice.
Here's the deal, Cameron. I say to define what you're talking about of being a serious whiskey drinker. I think if something takes up more time than necessarily when you're drinking whiskey, like if you are into the whiskey world longer than you are in a week of actually drinking whiskey, I feel like you're probably very into whiskey.
Yeah, that's
you know what I mean?
True. Yeah,
it's like I don't know. You just
if you're reading a whiskey book, you know what I mean, or if you're
on IG all the time, if you're watching documentaries, if you're watching Whiskey Tube, like you're way into it more than necessarily that right here. So
now when you as you've been drinking whiskey over the years, did you ever like take a period of time where you were like, I want to seriously, for instance, train my palate, right? Did you ever say that to yourself and it's like, I'm going to buckle down and try to learn this shit? Or did you just kind of over time pick these things up?
Dude. I have it's over time, I think. Dixon has Dixon is kind of like show me some different techniques of covering the glass and then kind of going in real quick and it being a rush or whatever. And he's kind of helped me define. Dixon's probably a lot of it, honestly. So Dixon he kind of taught me where to taste certain grains on the positioning of my tongue. And kind of where I'm feeling it, talking about mouth feel and stuff, picking up on he said with wheat, like with wheated bourbons, he says you're not really tasting the wheat, it's actually just the absence of rye. And I'm like, I was like, what? Like, anyway, I mean, I'm sure that's, I'm sure it's a little bit of both, but you know what I mean? It's just like, man, that's just a different perspective. And so he's taught me, and a lot of the people that have come on Whiskey Weekend that he's been able to do tastings with and stuff like that. A lot of that is just kind of taken from his wisdom, honestly. With all of our friends. And then, every now and then you have some savant sit down at the table and, and that would be Natalie. Herndon is one of our dear long friends since we started the show, but she actually got roped in from her husband, and she came in and she was like, this is like a typical, like I say typical just because my wife's the same exact way, but like, why are you getting on video chats with people around the country and just talk about whiskey? I don't get it. And then then she came in and she was like, okay, this is actually kind of fun. Natalie, she was at Whiskey Weekend, the first one, and we were doing a tasting, and Dixon was doing the tasting notes for batch 3 rye and confiscated. And we were doing a tasting, and she started spitting out all of these tasting notes because he went around and said, what are you tasting? Whatever. And she threw out some tasting notes, and he deadlocked her and said, yes. And like, so he brings her over. There's a really cool picture of them at a table, and they are basically just journaling down, and they've got all the stuff, and she's smelling and tasting, and she helps write the tasting notes for the press release and the bottle of rye batch 3 rye and confiscated. So I mean, super proud of her, but like, she's not, I mean, rewind a year before that, like, like you just didn't necessarily, she probably didn't even know that she was really good at that. And now she's, has literally trophies on a shelf to show it. Which is really awesome. But I've learned a lot from her, and I've learned a lot from Dixon. it's really just been over time. I mean, it's just two people, but it's been over time. I would definitely say that. Now, I will say that probably some people just have a natural ability,
Uh-huh.
kind of like Natalie. And you could just flip a switch, and then all of a sudden you're just, very good at whiskey.
Yeah.
I
Well,
I was not, I started out, I was into vodka and Sprites for freaking goodness. You know what I mean?
oh yeah.
Um,
I was drinking the vodka cranberries when I was 18,
oh,
I mean, come
I mean,
on.
I'll still do that. But, I mean,
I'll do a little
this-
Tito's.
yeah. No, man, I didn't get it. I wouldn't necessarily think that I wouldn't think that I was a good culinary taster. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like I can't put a lot of tasting notes down, but it's like when it's speaking a language, how it might be easier to read it than to speak it. Like whatever. I honestly think it's kind of like that.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, I mean, I have an education background, music teacher. That was my degree was in music ed, and then I went on to do performance. But I feel like with all the tasting stuff, what made me really like the growth of my tasting abilities, whatever the heck that means, over the last 9 months that I've had the channel, that's when it's really happened. Because when you get on like live streams, or you have to essentially teach it to people, describe what you're tasting. And you can't sit here for 30 minutes and nose and not say anything trying to figure it out. Like you have to spit things out on live streams. That has like infinitely made my palate better. It's like I don't know, just like quick questions, quick multiple choice questions in a way. Like you're just trying to answer and get through it. I feel like, teaching something makes you so much better at it, and whiskey's no different. So I feel like, yeah, I look back at early videos from the channel and I'm like, I can't believe I either presented information that way. Like part of it too is, so, some people just rattle off tasting notes, and it's like, can you cohesively like package it and tell somebody about the whiskey in as few words as possible? I think that's also a big skill. No one wants to hear 25 tasting notes like some people write down on their blogs.
Right.
So.
I mean, is it, I'm not going to knock those people that do that.
Right.
That's not me at all. I'm more closer to this is good or this is not good. Like I don't know what it is, but I like it. I'm beyond that, but that's kind of something I portray a lot.
Right.
But I do, I mean, I'm not some big whiskey taster. I just think that I've learned some things and I've gotten lucky. I've gotten lucky on the pours, except for golly, last night's D was stupid. Like it's still stupid. I've never heard of that bottle. The only way we would ever
was it
get
again?
any point, it was like, is there an MGP and which one is it? I can't remember if I got points or not, but D ended up being MGP. And then I was like, what was it? And he was like, I don't even know, like Rose and some, or
I can't remember the name of it.
I mean, it was Will didn't even know it. So
yeah.
And I was like, if he doesn't know it, then okay.
Right.
He is like a history dude. He's like facts, like he's like encyclopedia. Because in his profession, he's basically paid to know about a lot of things very quickly.
Right.
His memory is just so good, and he enjoys history. He enjoys all that. So he's gonna be your know what to talk about and all that stuff. But
yeah,
he would probably, but he didn't know that brand, and I was like, okay, it doesn't exist. I don't think that's a real thing. He didn't have the bottle,
right.
So ADHD whiskey. Do you hear that?
Look at this.
You didn't even show the bottle, dude. It was a fake bottle. Grease describes his relationship with Dixon like a real Schlemmer. I have pre-gamed a little bit, but it wasn't that much.
Oh man, that's funny. Oh my gosh!
I was having shrimp and grits and some George T. Stagg earlier.
Sheesh. That's how the other half lives, man. George T. Stagg, shrimp and grits. I'm gonna pour in honor of my
Golly, that is freaking that's ridiculous. My mother-in-law made the shrimp and grits. We're at home, and I had a little bit of sip of George T. Stagg. But yeah, that sounded like I was on a yacht somewhere. Like, yeah, I had George T. Stagg with my shrimp and grits.
What do you put in your cereal, dude? Jesus Christ! Oh my God. Where was this comment? Oh, here we go. In honor of you, Will Henderson, I'm gonna pour a little tier 6. What is this? OESQ. Because I clearly don't know the difference between these things, and I don't know who would. I'll be honest with you. I don't know who would.
See, I haven't. See, dude, I think I got banned in chat.
Oh, really?
Like somebody banned me in chat because I was literally typing and it wouldn't let me sit. Like it was grayed out, and I was like, "You gotta be freaking kidding me!" I was like, "I've got an E2 single barrel pick right here."
Mm-hmm.
It was from Whiskey Weekend Batch 3 that we did, and this is a Four Roses,
dude. Thank you.
Yeah,
I'll be honest.
So
I'm not
I think there's an E1 and E2, right? Or something like
that.
I don't
know. I don't know. I don't have any bullet picks, so I would have no idea.
I won't name names, but I've got a pretty good source that knows.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. It's like I need someone who had some industry knowledge to help me out a little bit. I was like, I don't feel like I'm crazy. I know I haven't tasted all 10 recipes, but this has got to be a Four Roses pick. I mean, it tasted identical. It really did. It's like an OESV or something kind of fruity. Tasted pretty darn fruity to me, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, you know what? You and Bobby moved on.
And then I clapped them cheeks. You know what I'm saying? I clapped them cheeks. And then you clap mine. But that's okay. I'll take the clapping.
But you know what? You definitely solidified that you beat Bobby.
I felt good about that. I felt as a whiskey newbie, as a young buck.
Because you were like, see, I'm supposed that Bobby, man, we should check and see if he's okay. Because that round was like, here's how he could have interpreted it. He's like, man, like, I'm just trying to beat Cameron just so that I can prove that I should be here right now. So that I should even be in this round right now.
I think he's drunk at a Luke Bryan concert right now.
And then he gets freaking stomped and he's like, no, I don't deserve this round. He got stomped. But anyway, it was good. No, that was so much fun. I kept trying to ask y'all questions. You were very hungover. And Bobby, I think Bobby was just like,
oh shit, I was hungover. I forgot about that.
And I think Bobby was probably thinking half the time if Sam was had that medical condition thing that happened, and so he was like in the back of his mind he was worried.
We were all like,
yeah. So I was like, hey, what do you guys think, man? Yeah. and then so I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go full confidence mode because I don't know. I think I might have him. And I did, but it was fine.
It's all good. No need to brag.
I know. Well, I mean,
dude,
no, I really did I loved that round a lot.
It was fun.
I loved getting to meet you backstage afterwards and on the show. Same thing with Bobby, and then Sam got on later, backstage or whatever.
Yeah,
just such cool people, man. Like ever since in February when we started doing YouTube, or like producing stuff that wasn't like just a graphic with our podcast audio under it, but
right.
And we had done a few things like, hey, we're gonna roll the camera on us going to see our liquor store, we got a barrel pick at, we've done that stuff, but this was the first time kind of doing like this thing, like kind of like the, Dan and Sean, It's Bourbon Night, like all those great channels. But so we started doing that in February, and so and then ADHD kind of brought us under his wing early, and kind of promoted us a little bit, and then we were growing, and we were like, holy cow, this is awesome. And then he was like, man, you should talk to Dan from Bourbon Junkies. They love you guys. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what?
So how tight were you with a lot of these people before you jumped on YouTube?
That's what I'm saying.
Were you tight with anybody like besides Matt?
Me and ADHD Whiskey had been talking back and forth, and Will too. Like Will would have a separate conversation. Like we've been Instagramming back and forth for a long time.
Yeah.
And back in the day when he was ADHD fishing and like all this other stuff. What was I saying? So you
saying the Bourbon Junkies sort of.
Well, yeah, and so then he did the old Charter thing, right, or the Beagle Rare that we sent around, and so I did make a video of that to put up, and that was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with that, and I had been telling Will for a long time we need to get on YouTube, like we just need to do a YouTube show, and he's like, no, it's just so much. It is easier. It's a lot easier to do audio only, and so that's just kind of the world we live for so long, and I mean. Really, I mean, we love the podcast format. I mean, we do the audio only, like, by some ungodly reason, we've been in the top 50 of, podcasts on the food, on Apple.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah. And so like,
crazy.
It's awesome. And that was so great. And then the pandemic hit, and then kind of everybody kind of went to YouTube University, and everybody's watching YouTube videos on, hey, I'm going to the liquor store for the first time in forever because I have so much free time right now. I don't even know what to do. I hear whiskey is starting to get cool again. Let me go and see, and they watch these videos and the reviews and stuff, and they start getting to whiskey, and then they, start just watching this content. And I was like, dude, we need to hop on. And so we do. And we finally did it this past February, which is probably a year too late. But, anyway, we're trying to grow it. We're having a lot of fun with it. It's caused us to mature a lot in a lot of different ways. And, we've got
Grease mature.
Well,
I don't know.
I try sometimes. It was funny. Like the first round of that tournament, I went full on heel. And
who were you up against in the first round? Because
Dan from
it was Dan. That's right.
Yeah, and I went full heel because I'm looking at this massive YouTube channel. They're like, I mean, they're closing on 80,000 subscribers or something like that. And like he like wants us to come on his show, and so they introduced us, and so his audience kind of knew who we were, or at least who I was, and then so when we were going head to head with me and Dan, I was like, I'm not going to be the favorite. Like, this dude is huge. You know what I mean?
Ooh, power outage. This is the Blair Witch. This is the Blair Witch grease.
I mean, I'm still going over here. That was weird. Alexa, whiskey room on.
Oh, geez. Look at that.
Sorry. Is that fancy too?
Just tell her what to do.
Just,
jeez.
Just make it happen, lady.
Oh my God.
I love Alexa. Anyway, God, what was I saying? That was weird. That just threw me out of rhythm. I don't know. Just the whole YouTube thing. So we knew these guys through the Beagle thing. And then, but yeah, we ended up going on their show, and I played the villain, and I went too hard, too strong. And so then everybody hated me. And then I had to redeem myself.
Man, so, it was a cool. Do you watch UFC stuff or no?
Yeah, I mean a little bit. I mean,
you're the Colby Covington of Whiskey Tube, I don't know if you know Colby.
I don't. But
okay.
I mean, it sounds like he's he shakes it up a bit.
He shakes it up. I mean, I guess Conor McGregor does too, but that's a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like the wrestling model, right? Like kind of going in the back. You're doing these like promos, like storyline stuff, and that's what we did before that round too. So just to kind of egg it on, but
when I'll be honest with you, man, if you go out of character, sometimes it kills it. What's funny with you, at least from my point of view, is that you can go out of character and it's still like, even when you pull that back in, it's not weird. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah.
Like,
well,
like
I mean,
for
I'm
instance,
still sassy when I'm not being.
well, I know, but like, even when you go full on grease mode, you know, it's like, I still believe it, even though I know that's not necessarily you all the time. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
It's interesting. You know, what is it in wrestling? Kayfabe.
Yeah. Well, you know why it probably works is because everybody has a drunk personality,
Right?
And they just think that I'm drunk a lot.
Well,
2 weeks ago is rough, or 3 weeks ago, whenever our round was. I was like, I'm not doing that ever again.
I don't know how I made it home. I'll be honest with you. I was so hungover driving back from Louisville that morning. It was like, oh my God. So,
oh man, yeah, you were a docile cat, but halfway through that though, I think you like hair of the dog and
yeah,
well, kind of rallied.
Well, I was like, I know these 2 bottles, and I was like, shit, I could win this, you know. But like at the beginning, I was like, I'm so fucked. Like, this is not going.
Oh yeah,
you know. But I was like, actually,
then you warm that palate up a little bit.
Yeah, you know, exactly. Jeez.
So
man.
I wonder if we did have like another round, if you would have swung it back.
I mean, I would say so, but you know,
there's no way you could even do another round with that freaking light whiskey has. I mean, that was just ridiculous.
147 proof.
We got a video coming out on this bad boy. This is the 27-year-old 157.2 proof.
What do I have to do to get a sample of that? Jesus, man, that's crazy. That is crazy.
It is very crazy. We got a video coming out. Probably, I'm actually going to probably just pump it out tomorrow, honestly. But it is. It's very interesting.
Is it good? I mean,
so I actually got. So I don't know if I talk about this in the video or not, but I actually got to try 2 of these. I did. But I got to try. I don't know if it'll make the cut though. I got to try 2 of these. There's only 8 barrels of this period, so it's a pretty good unicorn, or will be eventually. But Tennessee the Middle Tennessee area got 2 barrels, so we were like, yes. So I was able to try both of them, both samples, and the other one was higher proof than this.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And I was bummed because I really wanted to like the higher proofed one. I was like, I want the biggest, you know, that I could possibly find at the moment. Who's to say that's not the highest proof one? You know, like that would just be fun. Because I mean, when do you freaking ever see 157.2 proof whiskey?
I know.
It's
Jesus.
You just can't. So anyway, I got to try both of them, and this one was a lower. I mean, like when I say lower proof, like by like 0.4. You know, like it's all you can only go higher so much, you know. But anyway, this one actually had a good finish. I actually want to try it here in a second. This one actually had a good finish.
I'm gonna drink it in front of me.
I'm
jealous.
The bummer is that it's good on the front, in kind of like mid palate is like literally all ethanol, 0 taste, like vodka, right?
Yeah.
And then on the back end, the finish is just like, what is happening? It's like super fruity, bright. It's like, what? It's I will, spoiler alert, I give this, what in our rating system we have buy bar pass. And I put it at, it's kind of in between like a bar and a buy it because there's only 8 barrels of this and it's $200, but it's the oldest and highest proof whiskey somebody could possibly ever own, you know?
Yeah.
So that's fun. So I think that's unique. So if you've got the $200, and want it on your shelf too. Exactly right. Like Cameron's like, how do I get a sample of it? Like that's a cool factor, like people want it and to experience it and be like, holy crap, what is that like? Because when do you get like, that's what excites us because it's so different.
Yeah. Well, I think honestly, man, nowadays, I don't know about nowadays, but just in general, like after tasting so many whiskeys, the only stuff that really like, I don't want to say excites me, but gets me jazzed. Like usually if a company puts out a press release and we've got a 10-year something coming out, you can kind of predict what it's going to taste like. The only things that come out and you're like, I really don't know how that's going to taste would be like craft distilleries or like store picks. I mean, by and large, those are the two things that I'm like, I really want to get that, or some shit that's 157 proof and 27 years old. Like that's the kind of thing that I feel like is exciting nowadays. Whereas another 10-year product from Heaven Hill would just be like, okay, or something similar to that. So I don't know.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's a definite for me, just if I can try something that I've never tried before, I would like to do that.
Yeah.
So,
have you proofed it down to like 90 or something?
I don't have one of those readers, but I did put a whole. I mean,
you could probably do half water.
It was it was close. I mean, it was not close, but it was probably 3-1. I had a cap full of water to probably 3 of these capfuls of whiskey. And so I don't know what that does to the percentage. I guess that's 25% off essentially. So whatever that is, 157, 25, carry the 1, add the 2, divided by 5.
Be like 120. Maybe like 120. That's still,
but 120. It'd be more than that, but it's like I don't know. It's no, you're right. Very close to 120. My bad. And you would not believe of how much flavor 120 proof has when you've been pounded 157.2. Oh man, so dumb. So ridiculous, but yes, it was very. I loved it. It opened it up. It softened it. It had a lot of flavor to it.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, dude, thanks for jumping in here. I appreciate it. Appreciate you stopping by.
Yeah, but I haven't gotten it. I haven't.
No. I'm just saying it means a lot because as I'm still a young channel. I'm still early in the game, and I know you guys are like new to YouTube, but you're not new to whiskey. Community stuff, obviously, and it's cool to have you on. It's cool to be even in the same room as you guys with Matt Porter and everybody else. So, I just appreciate it, man. I appreciate you being, and I always feel like the young kid in the room, which oftentimes I am. So I'm like, I'm really quiet on Whiskey Tube, and I'm kind of reserved and chill because I'm like so used to just being the fly on the wall and watching everybody else. Whereas, like in my personal life, I am not that way at all. So it's kind of weird when I get on here and I'm like, sitting silently on these tastings,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, it takes some guts to, get out there and put yourself out there, which you've already done. And so you've got that. I think you've got a great palate, for sure. You were picking up on a lot of things in those tasting rounds and definitely deserved to be placed.
To be beat by Grease.
Well, but no, man. I think you've got some great knowledge. I mean, here's the deal, bro. Like, how old are you?
27, basically.
27 basically, or are we
well, I'm just about 27.
Oh, we're 27. Okay, so you're like 26 and a half right now. Are we still using half birthdays?
This is the B-Day stream, dude. My B-Day's in a couple of days here.
2 days?
6, but I can't go live next week, so I've got to do it right now.
Oh, I got you. Oh, so yeah, this is like your birthday celebration. Yeah,
just drinking good whiskey. That's all. That's about as much of a birthday as you get. I feel like at 27.
I mean, it's not much in there, but you're
gonna be schlammered after that little sip.
I mean, it's the fun thing is it's got a little bit of a nose. It's not like crazy ethanol.
Gasoline.
No, dude. I mean, if I can say, I really enjoy your knowledge, and obviously, I think you've definitely got the looks for YouTube. I've been working on this thing right here, dude.
You just gotta keep folding it in, this little booty chin.
Oh yeah. So how do you like those butterfly bandages or those Biore strips or whatever? Do you think I could? Do you think is that what it's called? Right?
No,
is it Biore?
Oh yeah, I think so. It sounds right to me.
Yeah, or I don't know. Whatever they
Biore.
No. I think it's Biore.
No, of course it's I just haven't heard Biore in a long time, man. There used to be an inside joke with me and my buddy. So for you to say Biore is a little bit funny for me. That's all.
Well, okay.
That's all.
Wait, so like, are you not pro Biore?
I don't know. Am I?
Well, you just said that you and your buddies had a dadgum joke about Biore.
I don't even remember the joke. I just remember they would just walk up to me and go, Biore. And then walk away. They would just kind of say in my ear, sweet nothings.
That's not a joke. That's from a commercial that was legit.
Well, I know, but it became a thing that we did is what I'm saying.
Right. Okay. So y'all.
And I'm like 12 years old. So, I mean, the commercial was probably in the 90s or something. I don't know.
Gotcha. So
Anyways.
they needed an excuse to whisper in your ear.
Maybe.
I don't need an excuse, Cameron. If I see you in the flesh, let me go ahead and tell you what I'm doing. I'm Biore in your ear for sure.
Just come wiggle my booty chin.
Just like the pop and lock, man.
Oh man.
Oh, we shifted, dude. We shifted so hard. We were like, we're done being serious and talking about whiskey. Cheers.
No, talk about. Hey, there you go. Don't tell me how good it is. I'm waiting on you to spontaneously combust.
You cannot talk. You can't talk for like 10 seconds.
You're like,
you're salivating. You were salivating so much.
Dude, never mind. And
you're like numbing the back of your throat. Like you're just like, I can't speak. I don't know what's wrong with me. It's incredible. It's a solid buy for me. Solid buy.
So how do I get one of those? I mean, are they out yet or no? Do you get like one of the first bottles? They're out. Dang. Yeah, so we don't get that stuff in Ohio. We don't get a lot of good things in Ohio.
Yeah, y'all just got internet like 6 months ago.
Yeah, basically. Oh, hang on, Zachary Jones. He's got in-ears, man. It's not going to work. He's got in-ears. Fancy. Those look like, what are they, SE215s? Are those sure 215s?
They got 5 drivers in them.
So what? All right. Anyway, I'm not going to nerd out about gear. You got me beat. You got the little broadcast mic and everything. I'm just doing a little AT4040 action here.
Yeah, but you have like morning rehearsals that you got to get up for. Okay, like you're big time. Shut up.
With Michael Bolton, dude. I'm playing with Michael Bolton tomorrow. Just kidding. I'm playing like chimes and suspended cymbal. I mean, it's really, really lame.
No, you're not.
Yeah, dude, come on. I'm playing like vibes and chimes and suspended cymbal for Michael Bolton tomorrow. So that's going to be hilarious. And a wicked medley on drum set. And some other shit. I don't know.
Cameron, I love you. I already loved you. The visions that I'm having in my head right now are absolutely incredible. Will you please Instagram story that crap or something? Like when you're sound checking? Because do you even need to sound check triangle and chimes?
Yo, of course you do. And I wear a little bow tie with my short-sleeved white shirt. That's my Outdoor Pops uniform.
Dude.
Short sleeves. I mean, it's really something. You should see it.
I'm nerding out so hard right now. Like literally, this is so great because I could play chimes and triangle. I feel like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like I could
100%.
I could totally. I mean, a couple of rehearsals, get the timing down a little bit. I feel like I can do this.
Oh, come on! Of course you could, man. I mean,
who do you play like full set for? Like, are you just kind of contracted out? Are you normally with Bolt?
No, I'm not normally with him. So I play in the Columbus Symphony. That's like one of my jobs,
Dude,
and then,
that's incredible.
Well, thanks, man. I mean, normally the thing I normally do before COVID, at least, I mean, I was touring around playing, solo shows. So I was usually I'm the soloist with symphonies, doing the like concertos. I don't know if you know, music stuff, but concertos, soloing with symphonies, and like playing solo recitals around the country. That was like my main job, and then I played with the symphony sort of part time. Because of COVID, now I play with the symphony. I'm mostly full time, although it's not. I don't have the title of being a full timer with them, and that's fine. And then I now work is starting to pick back up with travel and playing solo shows. But I don't play drum set for anybody. I haven't played drum set in a long time. I kind of miss it, So when I get to play with the orchestra or like a guest artist comes in, I'll play drum set for them. But yeah, I do miss playing kit. So, anyways, I do a lot of different musical stuff, and then when the Whiskey Tube thing popped up, it's something different, and it's a lot of fun.
Well, I mean, dude, I do think that there's a lot of strong ties to like music and whiskey in a lot of different ways.
Well, I think so too. And were you in like high school band at all or anything like that? Do you play instruments?
For like my 9th grade year.
Okay.
And then I was too into sports. I was like, I just want to. It was stupid.
Grease the jock.
Honestly,
what'd you play? What sports?
I loved basketball. It was funny. I actually loved football before high school, and then I was just too, dude. I was like $165, bro. Like, dude. It's like it's just not gonna work.
I played corner in 8th grade. I was tiny.
Oh yeah. So then I moved to basketball. And then in 9th through 12th grade, I was actually moved to golf. So, yeah. So it just kept getting, a little bit safer. So.
No broken bones in golf, man.
Dude, I used to play football on my side yard all the time. I was a quarterback or whatever. My dad coached me. It was like some really cool memories, for sure for me. But I wasn't great, So
we should make a contact golf league. Like, I mean, you could probably make something like that happen, right? Like rugby golf. Like, think about it. Yeah, I don't know.
Did y'all hear that scream?
What was that? You okay?
I don't know.
Ask Alexa, what's going on?
Oh, they're outside on the girls. Shut the door. God, they left.
I thought you were going to say something else.
No, they're on the bounce. They're on the bouncy house outside.
You got a bouncy house?
My kids do.
Nice.
Oh, dang it! Did I do it again?
What?
I'm so like caviar, aren't I? You have a bounce house? Yeah, dude. They're like.
Do you drink George T. Stagg in your bouncy house,
dude? Dude, my wife has Amazon Prime, dude. If it's on Amazon, she can afford it. I swear to you, on my grave in life. Oh my gosh, she's like, I mean, it's not that expensive. It's a bouncy house. I thought they were going to be like way more money, and I was like, yeah, I mean. Because those are like, well, I mean, there's a professional grade, then there's like a medium grade, and then there's like, pop it 2 seconds grade. She's like, I mean, I thought these were like not going to be, I thought they were going to be way more. I thought they were like $10,000. And I was like, you thought they were $10,000? So you go on Amazon and punch it in? If you have a preconceived notion of what it costs, then therefore, like, why on God's green earth are you even looking it up? Unless you're ready to buy it for $10,000. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. No, she fell.
The nerve of some people,
Dude, I love that woman beyond comprehension. But good Lord. My kids would talk to their teachers, and they called it do you go to real school or Amazon school? My kids say that when they were talking to, other classmates or that they would meet, like, hey, do you go to real school or Amazon school? Amazon school just means that they're on the computer, bro. On the computer for their school, remote learning. My kids interpret a computer with Amazon.
Hey, man.
My wife cake sheet. I ain't got no daggone problem.
Jeff Bezos is winning in your household.
Oh, dude.
Jeff Bezos has monopolized your family, and then he rode to space on a dick rocket.
Right. I was just going to say I helped fund the penis rocket.
Oh, God.
Oh, my gosh. You were going to kick me off like an hour ago. How long have we been going?
Dude, I don't know. You've been on here about an hour. No, I'm just. I didn't want to
longer than 20 minutes.
I didn't want to take too much of your time. I know you said you could jump on for 15 to 20. I didn't want you to be, Yeah. I know you got a lot of guest appearances to make.
No, I just have to help get my kids down to bed. So my wife just walked by and goes, "Oh my gosh, babe, I just got done telling people how much I love you and how bad you are." But then you're going to need to watch it back. I talked about Amazon a little bit. Yeah.
So
she just shrugged and she's like, "I don't care what you have to say about Amazon."
So how isolated are you in your house right now when you're like yelling and screaming? Like, how soundproofed are you in this room?
Pretty soundproof. It can only go up. I'm in the basement and I'm right under kind of like half garage, half of our dining area.
Uh-huh.
So it's a good little spot.
That's good.
So whenever they're upstairs, they, and then there's a middle floor in between, they can't hear. I can scream bloody murder and they cannot hear me. Now,
and then
Lauren can hear me if she's just on the middle floor for sure.
Yeah.
Takes the broom and
the middle of the 7 floors in your house with George T. Stagg in every room and bouncy castles and,
No, it's a 2-story.
Shrimp and grits everywhere. So,
dude, you know what I had for dinner yesterday? You know what my pregame meal was?
What?
I did it before yours too, which was a bold move for me to do considering I got sick after yours, but I did the same exact thing.
What was it?
It was 4 hot dogs with mustard.
Damn, that sounds like a heartburn.
That is what I did. And then for your round, I mixed 5-Hour Energy and Eagle Rare. And then for the round yesterday, I did just a half of the other half of the 5-Hour Energy. So I didn't do the Eagle Rare, and then I did this instead of the Eagle Rare with the mix. But so it was almost identical. But that's the normal food in our house is hot dogs with just mustard. We can't even afford ketchup and cheese, bro.
Right. Yeah, with all those Kentucky Owls behind you, you got to make sacrifices somewhere, man.
Dude, do you know what it really is? Do you want to know what this is Grease BS logic. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready, man.
There's only mustard on those hot dogs because mustard is 0 calories or 10 calories or something.
And yet you eat 4 hot dogs. Yeah. Yeah. See, I would probably take
intermittent fast. So that's the only thing I had yesterday.
I would probably. What a nutritious single meal.
You know what? But I had to do it. I was like, it won last time.
No, you're right.
I had to do it again. I was like, oh my gosh. Okay.
Daniel says it's ketchup or bouncy house. Just pick.
That's so good. That is so freaking good.
Oh, hey, kids, we got to get rid of the bouncy house. Dad needs some ketchup. Oh my God.
Because they don't have ketchup on Amazon. Actually, they do. Lauren,
what is this dude saying? Who puts ketchup on a hot dog? Any normal human being.
Yeah, no, Zachary Jones. He's I think he's.
This is some troll. This is some troll levels,
dude. Zach Jones. He's a troll. He trolls.
He's trolling, man.
He trolls.
I'll put ranch. They'll put ranch dressing on a hot dog. I don't care.
I swear he has me posting on anything on notifications because on everything I post, he's following up and be like, "Hey, man, you ready to go? hey man, you ever ridden a horse backwards, Grease? Or so I don't know. I'm making stuff up. I don't remember what he says, but everything is like super sarcastic and like, are we for real or are we not? I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. But then it's not. He's just actually a pretty funny guy.
What is happening? I'm getting ganged up on. Ketchup does not belong on a hot dog.
Oh my god.
What does? Actually, are you a relish guy? I will do some relish. I'll do some relish.
I'm not a huge relish guy. God, if I'm gonna go like crazy on a hot dog, it's gonna have chili, cheese,
Oh yeah,
grilled jalapenos, and mustard.
yeah.
No ketchup. You can't do ketchup when I don't do ketchup if I put chili on it or jalapenos.
No, only solo. Only
Yeah.
solo ketchup.
I don't do solo ketchup. I gotta have mustard. I really do love mustard. I do.
I like honey
It's
mustard.
It's basically fat free.
Because I'm a fatty. I'm a fatty.
No, dude, honey mustard is actually not that bad. You ever looked at Chick-fil-A sauce?
I love Chick-fil-A sauce.
Look at those nutrition facts next time. Compared to honey mustard.
I can't go to Chick-fil-A. I'll get canceled in my industry, so I cannot eat at Chick-fil-A.
Are you
Anyways,
serious?
Moving swiftly along. I know you live in Nashville, but no, I can't. If I posted I was at Chick-fil-A, my career would probably end that day. So, anyways,
blow my ever-loving mind, man.
what am I gonna drink next? Okay, dude. All right, what do you think of Russell's 13? Are you a fan or no?
Haven't had it yet.
Really?
No.
Dang, I guess you live under a rock, man.
I didn't really. I will tell you this much. Ever since Matt Madness started, it has been very hard with like the Patreon, Zoom hangouts and stuff. Like it's just been pretty difficult to get everything scheduled and calendared. And you know, I go to the beach and then I go to the do this thing and that or whatever. And it's just been super tough. And then July 4th is on a Monday. Like what the heck are we doing? So it's Anyway,
were those just excuses why you didn't buy Russell's 13?
It's the excuses of I did not put out any feelers and I did not hunt for said 13. I just, some bottles I'm just like, because, retailers and stuff, like I don't want to abuse it. I don't want to call them with every special release. But hey, can I get a bottle? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I just don't do it. So I just say no to some bottles. And, typically, somebody of mine's got it, or some people send us a sample, and we can talk about it then. But, you can't own every bottle. So 1, 2, I also don't want to abuse, I love my relationship with Tarek at Elixir and Don at Fairview and so many bros at Barrels and Brews and like I don't want to put them in a tough spot all the time, so I just let it go sometimes. So
I hope someone screen grabs you right now and puts a little quote bubble and it says you can't own every bottle with all of your background. I hope someone does it.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, well, cool, man. I appreciate you stopping by. I don't know if Trev's coming in. I got to text him here and see if he's going to stop by or not.
You got to put out some feelers, man. T-Rev, hop on
the wrench.
All right, man. Well, dude, have a great night.
You too, man.
It was it was a fun time.
I'm going to take a little selfie for you tomorrow when I'm bow tied, or I guess Saturday I'll be bow tied up on the gig with Michael Boltz.
What's that day rate?
For what exactly?
Okay,
for me or him?
No. I'm just saying for someone in the orchestra, and they need to pull professional musicians for a day rate for a concert like that. Like, yeah, what's a range so you don't have to get like specific? Cool. I have a ton of music friends, so
I'll
none of them in the orchestra. Like all of my no, there are some because I went to Belmont. Here in Nashville,
my best friend goes to Belmont.
Yeah. So I mean, it was
Yeah.
an amazing school. I have a ton of so many different musician friends and stuff. It's
Hmm.
really fun, and a lot of them stay here, and they're still
Oh
trucking.
yeah.
So, but
Yeah, a
anyway,
buddy of mine.
that's why I'm super interested in it, because I don't really know people in the orchestra here.
Yeah. Well, buddy of mine is a timpanist down in the Nashville Symphony. He's from Columbus. He's a good guy. But yeah, no, like a day rate will be it's paid by the service, which is 2.5 hours. So it'll be like 200 or $250 for like a 2.5 hour rehearsal usually.
Nice.
So sometimes you'll do a double header for, a couple of days in a row. So on a normal week, you'll have like 6 to 8 services, at like 2 or 250 a piece. So it'll take up a couple of days, but I mean, it's like pretty comparable to most other, I think, creative things.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
It ends up being like 60 to $80 an hour type stuff.
Right. Which is great. All right, dude. I'm getting summoned. My two daughters.
All right.
Hey, baby. I'm coming. All right. See you, buddy.
All right,
Good
man.
to talk to you, man. Later.
Adios. All right. Well, cool. It's really cool. Agrees to stop by and hang out. That is awesome. Let me see here. All right. He signed off. Great. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to stay on here for a little bit and keep hanging out. I thank you all for being here. The 47 of you that are hanging out right now. If you haven't, please hit that like button. That would mean a lot to me. Just throw a little like down on the stream below. I've got 42 likes, it looks like. So remember, we're doing a giveaway tonight for, where's the brand new one? Right here. This Whiskey War Double Oaked, coming in at 100 proof, local release here in Ohio, distillery only, which is pretty freaking cool. It's a great bottle. I was saying I had a sip earlier. I really like this stuff. So what was that guy's name? That is hilarious. Russell's 13, great $70 bottle for what it is. Secondary price. Yeah, David, I agree with you, man. As I sit here and sip this, I would pay up to like $120, maybe. Like in my mind, this is like a $120 bottle. It's really good, but it's not blowing me away by any means. I think for what it is with the flavors that it has, I hate to be a proof hound, but I'd love to see it at a little bit of a higher proof because it has really nice, delicate flavors. But you can get those delicate flavors at a lower proof in a lot of other aged turkey. The Bottled and Bond 17, only 100 proof, and it has a lot of these peanut butter, really rich turkey, funky oak qualities to it. And because this one has those qualities at an even younger age, only being 13 years, I feel like to differentiate itself, I want it cranked up even higher if possible, and maybe that's just wishful thinking. But right now it seems like it's kind of occupying a weird middle zone for me where I think it's delicious, but $375 on secondary is just, people are going to pay what they pay for these things. And I would pay $375 for a number of bottles on secondary, but unfortunately this is not one of them. So, for what that's worth, it just texted DC a screen grab. Thanks, Will. That's funny. Alan, what's up, man? Good to see you in here. Happy birthday. No shame in ketchup on hot dogs or brats. Thank you. See, here's the deal, guys. Food is only a vehicle. Food is but a vehicle for the sauce. I think I've seen some sort of quote from a show or, from somebody that says something like that. But look, I'm a sauce person. And Sarah, when we started dating, Sarah was a food person who never used sauce. And I have converted her to being a sauce person. We're saucy. We sauce everything up. If it's ranch dressing, if it's honey mustard, if it's spicy garlic from B-Dubs, we're some saucy people. 120, no. Yeah, I would go 120. I mean, look, part of the $120 thing for Russell's 13 for me is just knowing that the secondary is where it is right now, right? Unfortunately, in the grand scheme of things, I feel like you have to take secondary prices into consideration at least a little bit, because it's not like you can just go out of sight, out of mind with secondary and say that is not relevant. I feel like it is relevant because people are clearly paying that money. So for me, no, I wouldn't want to pay 120, God forbid. But based on the fact that I know I won't get one at cost, I'll never see it in Ohio. I don't go hunt out of state. I don't have time to do that stuff. I would pay up to 120 given my circumstance, right? I mean, I think that's probably going to be different for everybody. Keith, no. The only Stag Junior I would I would get into those numbers for. Batch 12 is fantastic. I know it's got so much hype recently and it's spiked up to 350, but I would pay more money for batch 12. And I actually really liked batch 13, if I'm being honest. So 14 was kind of lackluster. 14 basically just tasted like a high proof Buffalo Trace. I know that's what it is, but it didn't have anything extra special about it. Whereas I think 13 had a little extra fruitiness, and 12 is just a fantastic batch. But no, I would not do that for 15. 15, I do like. I've gone back and forth on it a bunch, but it's still just like not in my top batches there. I'm with you, Will. Yeah. What's up, Dustin? Dustin says, cheers, brother. Really love the attention you're giving Driftless Glen recently. Oh, the distillery's 15 minutes. Yeah, and speaking of Driftless Glen, I know Jason and Scott were doing a pick at the same time as my live stream tonight. I would have loved to watch that, that pick go down. Feels like everybody's been doing extra streams recently and kind of moving times around. So I know the numbers haven't been great tonight. And honestly, like, I haven't been really up to date on the content or doing regular live streams anymore. And like I said at the beginning of the stream, all that stuff is coming back. I've got Larceny Barrel Proof dropping tomorrow, B521, and I got a bunch of videos in the can. I wanted to get that, backlog of content before I started regularly releasing again so that I knew that I could keep up with where I wanted to be. But anyways, Driftless Glen, man, I actually have that pick right here on the shelf. And just what a fantastic pick that Scott from My Bourbon Journey, talked about on his channel, from Don's Liquors and Wine. It's just fantastic stuff. I haven't had the lower proof. I would imagine it's probably pretty good, but I think at the higher proof, it's really amazing. Let's see. David says, I agree. Wish it was cranked up to higher proof. I admit I love Wild Turkey and may be biased, but you would agree to pay $120 to get a bottle? Yeah. Hey, Whiskey Nose, I got to get back to you, man. I saw your message come through, and I need to respond to that. I do apologize. I'm a little bit behind on replying to messages by like a month on the Drums and Drams side of things. So some things have fallen through. I will get back to you. We will make a collaboration happen. Absolutely. I don't know if it's going to be able to be on my channel soon, just because like I might only be doing a couple of live streams between now and the end of August. So I've got to prioritize certain things because I have a lot of work conflicts right now with my live stream time. But yes, we will make something work, even if we do it on your channel, or we find a different time or something like that. Absolutely. Keith, I think it's better than Stag 15 for me personally. Stag 15, I've gone back and forth. I thought it was really hot at first. Then I kind of came over and I said I liked it for what it was. I would still maintain that it's not the best batch. And I think Russell's 13 is definitely a more balanced pour. I mean, I could do that comparison right now. I mean, why not? Let's do that comparison. I mean, it's a little bit of an unfair comparison in a way. All right. Let's pour this out. And guys, remember, every $5 super chat gets you entered to win this Whiskey War Double Oak, this brand new distillery only release that dropped today. I'll throw in a couple of samples with it as well. So, anyways, okay. So Stag 15 versus Russell's 13. Let's see. Unless you're a big turkey fan. Interesting. Yeah. Okay. I might change my mind. That was all memory there. This is Russell's 13. And here's Stag 15. It's just such an off comparison because there's so much of a proof difference. Here, let me start with Russell's, actually. I think the Russell's is pretty well balanced, It's got an amazing nose. That's what I really like about the Russell's 13. The palate is fine. The finish is fine, for being a hyped new release. But I think the nose just is fantastic on that. Whereas the nose on Stag 15, to me, it's just really hot. It's hot and young. Matt C says, how about that cigar blend? I had a little pour of it earlier when I was talking to Grease. I might pour a little bit more as well, but I do want to have a little Chateau de la Bode instead. I'll be honest. So I'm going to prioritize some Chateau de la Bode. I think we did become best friends. Zachary Jones, heck yeah. Love some sauce, just not ketchup unless it's spicy ketchup. I love Whataburger. When I get down to Texas, I love Whataburger. Now, at the higher proof, the palate of Stag Junior Batch 15 is fantastic. It still feels like it lacks a little bit of flavor and like richness, and it just airs more on the side of young and hot and alcohol forward. But still, the palate, I mean, you've got to give it to that because it is very intense. I think I take palate over nose on Stag, and I take nose over palate on Russell's 13. Yeah, the Russell's 13 nose is just amazing. I'm not even a big peanut fan, but it's got a super nice peanut butter note. Hey, Dennis, thank you so much for the super chat, man. I appreciate it. Great live stream and even better content. Love your channel. Happy birthday. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. The big 27, the 27 club. You know, I've got to avoid the 27 club. So knock on wood right now. So I killed my cigar blend, but you know what? Screw it, Keith. I'm going to pour more. Dude, here we go. Now it's a live stream. I don't want to kill this thing. I got to save one pour of cigar blend to share with Sarah. I still have half of Daniel's William LaRue Weller sample that I want to share with Sarah. And I definitely want to have the last pour of cigar blend, like I want her to be able to experience these things another time with me as well. So I'll leave a little bit of that. Oh, Daniel, it's going to happen. I mean, it's my favorite bottle. And I'm going to end up, unfortunately, paying $500 for another bottle on secondary because it is my birthday pour, essentially. It's like my special occasion. I have one backup bottle up there, and I only have this much left in this bottle. I sold off all of mine when I bunkered a bunch of them. I sold them off at what I bought them for when I was at $300. I will end up buying another at $500 only because for me, it is a very special bottle. It was kind of like the first amazing bottle of whiskey that I ever had. And, people are paying $700 for a birthday bourbon or $1,400 for a William LaRue. You know what? If it's $500 for a Chateau de la Bode and they last me the next 5 years as special occasion bottles, I'm okay with that, So it is what it is. Let's see. I got to get a couple comments here. I don't even know which glass is which anymore. I got to make sure I don't mix these up. Grease will be on Whiskey Nose tomorrow. Thanks for preparing me tonight. Yeah. Remind me what time that's going to be so we can kind of hype it up here in the chat. Birthday Labod, heck yeah. So Adam, driftless barrel that I got the 2020. Yes, the 2020 is the barrel. I don't have any of the 1956 because I had a bunch of the 2020s. If I bought a 1956 and I liked it more, I was going to be really sad and then have to spend even more money. So I just avoided the temptation of possibly enjoying that one more. So I have two backups of the 2020 and then this bottle, which I just opened. The other bottle, I basically sampled the entire thing out to people because I just wanted to spread the gospel of Driftless Glen single barrel picks. Keith, they are re-releasing, but I am 95% certain it's going to be at 100 proof like the Pfeiffer Pavitt, the Prisoner, the second releases of those have all been at 50%. I would assume they're going to take the Chateau de la Bode down to 50% as well. Now, the batch size, it's a 10 times bigger batch than the last release. So I think instead of 1,200 bottles, there's going to be more around 10 to 12,000 bottles. Even with that said, they're probably still going to maximize, from what I can hear, and water it down to a lower proof. And, that might not end up happening. They might decide against it. But if they do, I do want to have the barrel proof version of it. Because I just think it's to me, it's one of the best whiskeys that I've ever tasted still. Whiskey Note, 5 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. Awesome. So tomorrow is Friday. Okay. I don't even know what day of the week it is. Yeah, another release. I know it's in, it's in the barrels right now. And I've talked to people there that have said they've been, tasting the barrels as they age to check in on them. So, a 94 Armagnac is a good idea. That's a really good idea. We just got Sarah's mom into Armagnac. I gave her a pour of the Delord 25 yesterday. So for her birthday in November, I'm going to buy her a really nice Armagnac, probably $150 range or something. So when I do that, maybe I'll pick up something from 94 if I can find it. That's what I'm saying, Amy. Don't be watering it down. Also, Amy, I apologize. If you have to bounce out of here, please let me know, and we can wrap things up with the giveaway, and we can go ahead and do it if you need to jump. So I don't want to hang you out or put you out or anything like that. So just let me know. Dustin, I need to try one of those. Then I haven't had one. So if that's what they were picking today, the Mashin Journey Club, I'm gonna have to pick that up if it was a rye. Okay, so Keith said something about Russell's 13, Stag Junior batch 15, and my cigar blend, which is a batch 24. So I need to compare these. So here's the Russells. I want to make sure I get this right. Russell's, Stag, and I think this is cigar. Yes. All right. So Russell's is coming in at 100 and basically 115 proof. Stag Junior is 131.1. So that's a 15-point proof difference. And then Cigar Blend is coming in at 124. So that's kind of right in the middle. So it's basically stepwise, 10 proof points between Russell's to Cigar Blend, then to Stag Junior. So I'm going to taste them in that order, and let's see. Okay, thanks, Amy. Thanks for letting me know. All right, let's try it. So first up, Russell's. Let's just nose them all very quickly. Okay, Russell's 13. I love the leather notes in Old Turkey products, to me, are just fantastic. It's like peanut butter and leather. Okay, that'd be weird, right? Like smearing peanut butter on a leather belt and like licking it off. But that's kind of what it smells like. All right. Cigar Blend. The Cigar Blend, this batch to me has always had sort of an interesting, not cardboard component, but something a little bit earthy. It doesn't like jump out of the glass with a lot of fruit. And it's called the Fruity Batch. Batch 24, I believe, is like the Fruit Bomb, or, it's got some name like that. Yeah, I do get a little bit like of you get the grapey type notes, but it's not as rich and sweet as you would think. Yeah, interesting. I kind of like the Russell's nose better. And you guys know I love these Armagnac finishes, but and then on to Stag. Stag is very grain forward, very youthful, especially compared to these other two. I mean, it's probably, 3 to 5 years younger than those. Relative, I don't know, sort of around there. Yeah, my Cigar Blend just seems really muted. I'm getting some chocolate off of it. I'm definitely getting some spice, but it's not the MGP spice that I kind of know and love. It seems like it's been altered quite a bit by the Armagnac finishing there. Yeah, Keith, that's got to be what it is, man. And on the palate, I feel like I like it, but on the nose here, it's really not jumping out. Keith says, second place winner tonight. I will send a sample of Cigar Blend batch 32 since Cameron is almost killing his bottle tonight. Awesome, man. Thanks, Keith. So second place winner of the giveaway will get a little treat from Keith Schmidt. So that's awesome. Keith, do you want them to email me, or do you want for them to email you directly to make that happen? Just let me know. I'm happy to middleman for you if you want on that. Any raisin notes on the 13? You could convince me of it if I really wanted to dig down, but to me on the surface, I don't get it. I get more of like, again, that peanut butter leather and then very sort of sweet. Well, I guess I could see grape in this. It's not as dry and like bittersweet as a raisin would be. Listen to me. Specifying grape and raisin, but no, for real, I think it's more grapey than anything at this point. I see something about herpes in the chat. I'm not going to bring that up on the screen. Dustin says, I can get you a single barrel proof fry anytime you would like. Okay. Dustin, send me an email. I don't know about right now. I'm a little tapped out on whiskey buying right now, admittedly. But if you send me an email, drumsanddrams@gmail.com, and I have your information, then we can make it happen eventually, one of these days. Maybe not just yet. Oh, man, Tom, I didn't even mention that. I don't think I mentioned it. So for those 50 of you on here, first off, please hit that like button, blah, blah, blah. On Saturday, like I said, I'm playing a concert on Saturday. I've got a rehearsal 2 to 4:30. And then, Michael Bolton's playing with the Columbus Symphony, and I'm playing the triangle in the background at 8 o'clock. But in the middle of that, between basically at 5 p.m., right after my rehearsal, I'm going over to Middle West Spirits, which to me is the standout distillery that we have here in Columbus, Ohio. And Drew P. Whiskey is going to be in town doing a barrel pick at Middle West Spirits. So for those of you who are patrons of my channel, Drums and Drams, this is not a collaborative pick on paper by any means. It is 100% an entry-proof podcast barrel pick. But Drew invited me along to do the barrel pick. And number one, that's awesome. I've never done a barrel pick before. I'm excited to not only go and see what that experience is like, but to do it in a non-committal, almost like an intern way, where I'm kind of watching them do the pick and I'm going along with them, but I can really just observe the process and how it works, so that one day when I do my picks, whenever that may happen, I will kind of know more about the process. But I'm going to be going along with Drew, and after his patrons get first shot at all of those bottles, I'm sure there are going to be some left over, and he's going to allow the Drums and Drams patrons to kind of get second crack at that pick. Now, we are picking, from my understanding, Tom, correct me if I'm wrong, a 4-grain bourbon, which is the Michelin Reserve from, it's going to be barrel proof, single barrel, Michelin Reserve from Middle West Spirits. And a lot of you that have received samples from me have received a sample of that because I have 3 different barrels back there, bottles from different barrels, and I send those samples all the time because I want to hype up this particular distillery in Columbus, Ohio. So anyways, I'm excited about that barrel pick. That's going to be on Saturday. I don't know if I can do it, Will. Andrew, do you enjoy the Russell's 10-year? I freaking love that. I don't reach for it a lot because I think for me, the Russell's 10 it's like a flat peanut butter. It's like a flat peanut butter whiskey in a way. Like, I mean, the predominant note is peanut butter and oak, similar to Russell's 13. But at 13 years, the Russell's gets a little more, and at this proof, obviously, gets a little more vibrant and a little bit more fruity with that dark cherry and that grape note in there. Think of it as a birthday present. It's not about the whiskey. The people share it with mash and drum. Oh, man. Dustin, if you want to do that, that would be an incredible present. That really would. So, yeah, shoot me an email, man. Again, I'm happy to pay for it. Or to make a little exchange happen at a later date. But right now, like I said, I'm a little tapped out just with some bills that have come due recently. So Daniel says, Ben. I think that is correct. The Michelin Reserve. Check them out tomorrow, though. I think they're announcing their cask strength rye limited release. Well, shoot, Tom, I'm going to have to buy some of those, man. Their ryes are just ridiculous. I'll do a giveaway for that for sure as well. And the giveaway tonight, admittedly, has not done so well for the Whiskey War Double Oaked. I promise you guys, here's the deal. I would not give a bottle away on this channel unless it's something that I wanted to keep. And I mean that with my whole heart, right? Like my Calumet 15, my Bardstown Discovery 4, like giving a lot of these bottles away. Like, no, this is a $65 bottle. It's not quite on the level of those. But I promise you, I don't give stuff away that I don't want to keep. I sell that stuff to people locally at cost. And I will only ever give away stuff on the channel that I really, really believe in and think is worth a damn. So I just want you to know that. I'm not asking for more entries tonight. I'm just saying, I do these giveaways as a way to kind of share the love with some of these really great whiskeys. So The one that I might not give away is the Rosé Penelope because I love it so much. But I'll probably end up giving that bottle away too. Big Vic just had the Infinity bottle. Awesome. And the Driftless Glen pick. Yeah, man. The Driftless Glen pick is fantastic. Thank you, Josh. I really appreciate it, man. All right, back to this. Let's taste the Russell's 13. The nose is just fantastic. You get a lot more fruit on the palate from me. I get a lot of that just really sweet cherry syrup in that grape note as well. It goes along with all that leathery, oaky turkey funk. It's not too spicy for me. Like, you know, on a lot of turkey products, I get a ton of cinnamon, really sharp cinnamon. I don't really get a lot of that on Russell's 13. It feels like the age has dialed that back quite a bit, even at 114.8 proof. Dave Rose says, I could throw a sample pack. Dave, if you want to throw a sample pack, man, Keith, were you planning on just, if Keith is planning on giving the cigar blend sample, just the cigar blend sample, then what I would want to do is combine Dave's sample pack with that and send it to the second place winner so they could get, you know, multiple samples. So Keith, let me know what your plans are. If you're going to give up the cigar blend, we can combine that with Dave's, you know, sample flight, and that would be a really nice second place gift. Yeah, Keith, you know, the new batches of Whiskey War Barrel Proof completely exceed expectations. Absolutely. Like the old stuff, to me, I couldn't drink it at 2 years and 2.5 years. The 4-year stuff, it's remarkable what those, you know, 18 months in a barrel did. Daniel says, put me in for another. Thanks, man. I really appreciate it. And thanks, Dave, also for the super chat. Yeah, I will not give away bad whiskey. I want to share good whiskey only. And I can't buy whiskey. Yeah, Jake, I totally feel you here, man. For me, it's going to be medical bills. I had some blood work done today at the doctor, trying to figure out some stuff that's going on my end. And so I think there could be a CT scan in the future or some ultrasounds and stuff like that. So I gotta be careful about the whiskey buying here for the foreseeable future. But yeah, anyways, that was my day today. It was a long day of being at the doctor's office. So whoa. Mark, don't freak me out, man. Don't freak me out. What was the rehearsal tonight? Mark is in the Columbus Symphony with me, or I guess I should say I'm in the symphony with him. He's a full-timer. He's a clarinetist, and I'm just an associate musician there. But okay, tonight was oh, you guys are doing that other program with just timpani. There's no percussion. I was like, what did I like? I would have thought Evan would have called me if I missed rehearsal. That's hilarious. Yeah, Mark, my birthday is actually the 28th next week. But I'm doing a little birthday live stream right now because I can't do a live stream next week because we are going to be in rehearsal with the Ohio State Marching Band. mashanddrum@gmail.com. That's funny. No, drumsanddrams@gmail.com. Yeah, drumsanddrams@gmail.com. And Amy's got it down here for you, Dustin. That's hilarious. Although I do have a mash and drum picture here from like a little gag I did a couple months ago. Let's see if I can get it up. There it is. Okay, back to the comments. Thanks, Colin. What's up, man? Good to see you. Thanks for jumping in. Andrew for the super chat, $5. Oh yeah, super chat because why not? Happy birthday. Thank you. So Amy's keeping track of all the entries. Oh, Keith is going to throw in Keith, this is funny that you said that, man. Okay, Keith is going to throw in a Four Roses limited edition 2014 with cigar blend batch 32, I think you said. So let's do it this way then. Let's do that sample pack for Keith, along with Dave Rosas is also going to give away a sample pack. So let's have 3 winners for tonight's giveaway. That's awesome. That's fantastic. Thank you guys so much for jumping in and throwing those in there. Jay likes ketchup on hot dogs. Oh, no, he doesn't. He says, good thing I like you. Ketchup on hot dogs is killing him. Yeah, I was freaked out there for a second, Mark. All right, guys, let me taste the cigar blend. This is batch 24. Hey, Mark, if you're still here, do you guys get comps for tomorrow night's show? I was thinking about stopping by at the show tomorrow night. I know it's out in Newark, but I kind of wanted to come see that program. So I didn't know if you got comps. If you don't get comps, that's fine. I don't really want to pay $25 to be there. I don't really want to support the symphony. No, I'm kidding. But it'd be nice to have comps. I was going to ask Ben for his, if he could maybe talk to Evan, or, I don't know how it works. So anyways, man, that cigar blend. A cigar blend, the more I sip on it, I mean, it's getting a little bit better now, but it's not as good as I remember it, Keith. You're right. It's kind of flat. That'd be awesome, man. I would like to see the show. So anyways. Daniel P. Glenmorangie X or 10. I will do that comparison in just a second, actually. I saw your comment on the video. I apologize I didn't get back to you. I think it was on the YouTube video, not in the Patreon, and that's why I didn't answer that. I need to go check the Patreon tonight as well and answer some comments there. Let me do that comparison after I finish up right here. Okay. And now to Stag. Batch 15. I mean, gosh, they're all different animals. I'm almost getting a banana note on Joseph Magnus Cigar Blend. I don't really know why. I was just being sarcastic. Okay. I didn't know. Email sent. I might have a couple different barrels. I'll send you some samples of each. Okay. Thanks, Dustin. That's hilarious. Hey, you never know, because I've gotten every kind of comment about the mash and drum to drums and drams, name similarities. So I never know. Keith, what I was saying earlier is I actually have poured out here. Where's it at? Yeah, I actually poured out the 2014 Four Roses limited edition right here. The samples that you sent me, I was drinking a little bit of that earlier as sort of a celebratory pour when we were hanging out with Grease. Oh, Daniel, I think it's because it was on an unlisted video. When I put it in the Patreon, like an unlisted video like that, I wasn't going to check the YouTube comments on those videos necessarily, although it's all in the same dashboard, so it doesn't really matter. I should have answered it, and I apologize. Oh man. Yeah. The Four Roses limited edition 2014 from Keith. It's a really, really interesting pour. And now that I'm a little more familiar with the Four Roses profiles of the different, mash bills and yeast strains, it's an interesting thing now to revisit this sample and be able to pick it apart a little bit more analytically in that way. Yeah. Let's do a final sip of each of these. That was Russell's. God, it's so good. The oak profile on the Russells is what's so good. Cigar blend is fine. Yeah. I'll still take Chateau de Labat any day of the week. And then Stag 15. Stag Junior Batch 15. You know what? It's a tie for me between the Joseph Magnus and the Stag Junior 15 on the palate, I think. On the nose, Stag is definitely more intense. Joseph Magnus is a little bit more refined because it's not as young. But I might reach for the Stag Junior more than I reach for this particular batch of Joseph Magnus Cigar Blend. Now, I think overall, I would take the Russell's 13, even though it is a lower proof. I think it's just a more well put together bourbon, even though it does lack in intensity just a little bit. It lacks a little bit in spice. It's a bit flat. I think subjectively, I just like those flavors a little bit better. So That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, I think the Sam Houston 15 was jarringly better, at least my batch, than the 14 and the 12. Like, to think about similar distillate from year to year and only 1 year difference between the 14, to see how much better Sam Houston 15 got as compared to a lot of other sourced Barton stuff as those things age and get released as well. It was remarkable. And even Calumet Farm 15. I don't know what happened between year 14 and year 15 with those barrels, but they are fantastic at this age. So 15 seems like it's that sweet spot, and they've both upped the proof on those releases as well. I haven't done it next to Russell's. I'm a little tapped out tonight. I've got a comparison real quick here on this Glenmorangie stuff I want to do for Daniel, or I would do that comparison. So maybe I'll do that on a future stream here. Yeah. But I mean, for secondary prices, Sam Houston 15, I don't want to pay secondary for it, but it seems like relatively available at $130, and it's worth every bit of that. I agree. Now, Keith, this is what I was going to say. Keith sent me a batch, and I have another batch from a guy here in Columbus. I have his Kentucky batch. Keith, I have your New York batch, and I have a California batch that Big Vic sent my way. I have a video coming out of that I need to film. I want to do that comparison. I have another video of similar batch comparisons for some other products too, but the Sam Houston is a priority there. So no, I haven't tried it, Keith. Let's do this Glenmorangie comparison really quickly and see how I feel. I don't want to drink too much tonight. I am 2 hours in though. Hey guys, let's say that I'm going to continue the stream after the giveaway, but let's say because Clifton is going to go on at 10, I want to do the giveaway. So let's say 3 more minutes on the giveaway at 9:58. We're going to call it quits on the $5 super chats to win this Whiskey War Double Oaked. Remember, second place is going to win 2 samples from Keith, 2 excellent samples, Joseph Magnus Cigar Blend Batch 32, 4 Roses Limited Edition 2014. And then the third place winner, we're going to have 3, is going to win a sample flight from Dave Rosas. And Dave Rosas does not mess around. He sends some really good sample flights. So just know that. Cornholio is in the house and is entered into the giveaway. Thank you, Cornholio. And thanks, Amy, for distilling that down into a post here. Yes, so 3 giveaways. I will order those as High Bank first, Keith second, Dave third. That will be the order of the giveaway. Awesome. Daniel, rather, did not like the Russell's 13 at all. It just didn't hit my palate right. I guess I'm not of a Wild Turkey fan. Wild Turkey has really grown on me, Daniel, since the 17-year bottled and bond. But when I first had the 17 bottled and bond, like, I was not a big fan of it. And I think it's definitely growing on me. And contextualizing these Wild Turkey products is really important too. Like doing it down the line with like the Russell's 10 single barrel, maybe a single barrel store pick, then the Russell's 13, then Russell's 03, and then the Wild Turkey 17 bottled and bond. Like, to do those in a row and to observe how they change over time, I think like familiarizing myself in a holistic sense when I have that many pours poured out for science, that's when I can start to appreciate something more, as opposed to kind of the one-off where you, like for me, like the one-off of the Turkey bottled and bond 17 was like, I don't know. But yeah, putting it in context was what was so important for me. Mark says, give me some whiskey. Thanks for the $5 super chat, man. Mark is entered to win. And Mark, if you don't win, man, I'll see you at rehearsal. I will gladly give you some whiskey, man. I will gladly have a pour with you as well. That's awesome. Daniel P. wasn't a big fan of the 17. It's so oaky. Yeah. And the peanut butter with the oak, to me, it's so heavy in a way. Wendell Wilson has won one of Dave's sample packs. Yes, and it is awesome. I think that had Stag 15, 1792 12 year, a bunch of other stuff. Maybe like a Whistle Pig single barrel. Science. Yes, absolutely. Okay, guys, let's do this Glenmorangie Scotch comparison very quickly. I got to grab 2 glasses back here. Because, I got to have my fancy Scotch glasses on the stems. Come on. All right, Daniel. Now let me grab, and for those of you guys who are not Scotch people, I know, I'm sorry, I'm going to do a Scotch comparison on my live stream. There is more Scotch content on the way. I am currently filming Scotch Sunday stuff. I want to get 4 of those in the bag before I start releasing them weekly, but Scotch Sundays are on the way. So that is going to be exciting. Let me see if, you know what, Daniel, I might have drank all of my Glenmorangie 10-year. Let me see if I still have it. All right. I do still have just a swig. So I'm glad. I'm glad I don't look like a fool. Although I always look like a fool. All right. Hey, guys, let me know what you're sipping on tonight. Wisdomful says, why is my super chat showing $4.99? Honestly, I don't know. I think it's between phones and computers. There are different ways that super chats show up. I mean, a $4.99 is a $5 super chat. So, it's fine. $4.99 is totally okay. Big Vic, no, man, I haven't tried that. I actually saw some old bottles go up locally here. And I really want to try some of the older Master's Keeps. I've tried the Cornerstone Rye, which I think is a really good bottle. And then the 17-year bottled and bond. Those are the only 2 that I've had so far. Cornholio, thank you. Dustin, no, I've not had that one. Thank you for the super chat. Wisdomful says, happy birthday, new to bourbon. It's a rabbit hole. Prepare yourself and prepare your wallet. You need to kill that bottle. It's too low. I know. Keith, I'm bad about killing bottles. I'm really bad. Okay, that's good info, Daniel. Okay, guys. Okay, let's wrap the super chats now. Sorry, I wasn't keeping track of time. So super chats are donezo. Looks like we should have 30 entries, I guess. I think it should be 1 through 30. Amy, let me know if that's the final tally, and we will choose 3 numbers here. And then we're going to keep going with this stream. I know I'm going a little bit later. That's okay. It's my birthday in 6 days. Oh, JG's drinking some Quinta Ruban or Quinta Ruban or however we say that. Dave, I don't know what that's going for, man. I have a sample from Keith, I believe, that I'm still nursing. I had 2 ounces of it, and I want to say it's probably 250 or 300. I mean, those things don't go up too high on secondary over their MSRP as compared to other bottles, I should specify. Amy's got 1 through 30. Okay, awesome. Okay, guys, let's do the giveaway very quickly, and then we're going to keep going here with this Scotch comparison. Looks like they added a little more caramel coloring to the Glenmorangie X, which we will talk about. And it makes sense why they would. Okay, let's see. Hey, Siri, pick a number between 1 and 30.
A random number between 1 and 30 is 16.
Okay, so number 16 is the winner of the High Bank Whiskey War Double Oaked Batch number 2. Number 16 out of 30 is the winner. So for the people who win this giveaway, please send me an email, all right? And I will get you connected either with me, obviously, or with Keith or Dave to figure out the distribution of these prizes for this evening. Oh, nice. 16 is Aiden. Okay. Well, Aiden really enjoyed the Whiskey War barrel proof that I sent him. And so now he's going to have the double oaked version, a full bottle of it. So that's really exciting. I know Aiden is not in here right now, but congrats, Aiden, on taking home that bottle. That's awesome. Let me write this down just so I don't forget. Okay, Aiden is winning Whiskey War double oaked. All right, let's do the second one. This is for Keith's Joseph Magnus batch 32 sample and Four Roses 2014 limited edition. Hey, Siri. Hey, Siri. Come on, Siri. What are you doing? Hey, Siri. Pick a number between 1 and 30.
random number between 1 and 30 is 7.
Okay, so 7 is the winner of Keith's samples. Those 2 samples. And finally, let's figure out the last winner. Hey, Siri, pick a number between 1 and 30.
A random number between 1 and 30 is 7.
Okay, it chose 7 again. We don't do double winners here. We're going to re-roll. What are the odds? Siri, come on. Oh, sweet. Number 7 is Daniel P. So Daniel P is the winner of Joseph Magnus and that Four Roses, which are both fantastic pours. I don't think I've had that batch of cigar blend. I think Keith has sent me a different batch, but I know the Four Roses 2014, I've got it right here, is a great, great pour. Let me make sure I know which one it is. Yeah, it's this one. Nice one, Daniel. Okay, let's do one more. Daniel, I wish you could win all of them, but I've said this on previous streams. I got to hold by what I said, which is, no double winners here. Hey, Siri, pick a number between 1 and 30.
A random number between 1 and 30 is 8.
All right, number 8. Number 8. So let's see who that is. Daniel says, just kidding, share the love. Daniel, I've got some other samples I want to send you, man. So I got to remember to do that. I'm running low on sample bottles, but I'll get some more stuff your way too as well. Let's see. Let me type this out. Make sure I got Daniel P for Keith samples. I'll get your information there. Okay, and finally, oh, nice. Number 8 is Wisdomful. All right. Wisdomful or Wisdomful. I don't know. What's up, Daniel? Good to see you, man. My birthday's 7/16. I'd been here earlier. Good night for Daniels. Yeah, absolutely. Good to see you, man. You are now going down the rabbit hole because Dave is going to send you some really good samples of bourbon. Hey, so please send me an email at drumsanddrams@gmail.com. I have Daniel's info. I have Aiden's info, the other 2 winners, but I don't have your info. So drumsanddrams, all one word, at gmail.com. And send me that email, and I will connect you with Dave, or just give Dave your information. You will get those samples in the mail in the next, probably 7 days or so, maybe 7 to 10 days. So there you go. Great. Yeah, right. Great pickups tonight for everybody. That's some really good stuff, and I'm very excited. Okay, so let's keep going here with the stream. Thank you, Amy, for doing that. I really, really appreciate you keeping track on the stream. Yes, I will hit you up very soon about that, and I apologize. I apologize for the delay, so thanks for understanding. All righty. So, and yeah, who won that? Daniel P. So the 2014 sample, the Four Roses limited edition. Yeah, it's really soft on the nose. It's got like a delicate floral quality to it, a little bit of honey sweetness, and just like some rich apricots, and then also some red fruits as well. Yeah. Oh my gosh. It's more herbal and kind of floral on the palate than you would think based on the nose, at least for me. The nose seems really kind of tame and sweet and delicate. The palate brings a little bit of that floral and herbal essence, but man, it's great. Andrew says, kid woke up, got a bounce. Adios, man. Good to see you. Yell at me too. I have no idea what's going on, however. Just an arbitrary yell. I'll send you a voice note of me just yelling. Yeah, this 2014 is great, Keith. It's different. It's very, very different. And I haven't had any of the other limited editions to compare it to, but this stuff is really solid. All right. Mark, thank you so much, man. I appreciate the super chat. Here's to the cause. So many things to try. Good live stream. There are so many things to try. And one thing about whiskey, as I trained my palate over the last like 18 months or 2 years or however long it's been that I've really been taking it seriously. I fell into like the habit for a number of months of just having too much and just drinking too much because I was so dedicated to trying to. I mean, it really wasn't about getting drunk. I promise. I really do mean that. It was about like the sort of climbing the mountain of learning more about it and training my palate, which is a sense for me, like taste and smell are two senses that I always considered very weak. My ears have always been very good as a musician, but my other senses, I have bad eyesight. You know what I mean? Like the other things that I do have never felt strong. So when I realized like I had kind of a knack for it and I was training it and working on it, I kind of went overboard for a while and I was definitely drinking way, way too much every freaking night. And so the idea of having too many things to try, it can be overwhelming sometimes. I actually find having like 10 bottles, I didn't feel that pressure. Having between like 50 and 100 bottles, I felt this pressure to drink so much and do comparisons and side by sides. And now I've got like 300 bottles, right? And I'm only saying this because having this many bottles, you realize there's just too much. Like I have a bottle for every day of the year almost. And to think about that, it's like I could go years without touching some of these bottles and it's not a big deal. You don't feel rushed anymore. So I'm not saying have 10 bottles or 365. I'm just saying like there is truly no rush. It took me a while to learn that, but you don't have to drink everything. You don't have to know every flavor profile or, whatever else. So I think it's important. I think it's important. JG, I'm a lush. Get out of here. Dedicated to science. Yes. My monocle. Dude, let's do it. Let's do it. Absolutely. I've been kind of off the grid recently dealing like, and you've seen kind of on my Facebook as well. I don't respond to Facebook comments 99% of the time either, just because it ends up taking so much time. You respond to one, you want to respond to everyone. And so I've kind of adopted the approach of like, it's all or nothing with some of these things. But yeah, you've kind of seen on my Facebook some of the, struggles and things that have been happening recently. And so, yeah, I've been a little off grid, but we should collaborate. We should do something like that. So let's make it happen. Yeah, I think it is. I think it is excellent. It's different than I remember it though, Keith. And I think it's not the sample change. It's not air, any of that because I had 2 samples. The one I'm drinking tonight is the unopened sample. And so there's no difference in it. It's just my memory, my taste memory of it is completely off. And I think it's because I've familiarized myself with the Four Roses brand so much more in the last couple of months. So yes, it is so easy to do that. And I think it's important to talk about it too, because, in the Bourbon Junkies Facebook group, God love that Facebook group. It's awesome. But they're like, I'm not going to dance around it. Like the Russo pour, #Russo pour, Eric Russo. I mean, like we see stuff like this pop up and it's funny. And some people are like, why would you do that? And then other people are like, screw you. For those of you guys in the group, you know what I'm talking about. It's basically filling a Glencairn to the rim, with 0 space left and drinking it. And, for me, it's a funny thing. It's a novel thing. As an everyday or even multiple days a week, it's kind of irresponsible. And I'm not trying to like call anybody out. It just kind of is what it is. Consuming that much alcohol is not okay. It's not good for you, objectively speaking. And so I think it's funny on one hand, and the other hand, it's like we do kind of need to teach a little bit more responsibility in the community. Not teach it, not preach it, but just bring awareness to it, I think. And so speaking openly about it, I think is really important. Amy, that's absolutely what it is. Like I used to be weird about sending samples to people because I was like, oh, I want to keep my good bottles. And now I'm like, let's just give this away because there's so much to go around. Daniel, I couldn't either, man. Well, I mean, look, I on my live streams, I do have a lot more than I normally would on a given night. But yeah, by and large, I'll get in bed and I just want one. I want two, maybe, you know. Sometimes I like to do a comparison before bed. Mark, I have a sample of this from Daniel P, actually, that I haven't really broken into yet. I know I've had it in a blind one time. I didn't know what it is until after the fact. But what I remember is that it's amazing. I don't want to trouble you for a sample because you should hang on to that. That's some really good stuff. I have 1 ounce of it from Daniel that I will sip and savor here on my end. Thank you guys for the 45 of you still hanging out in chat. I know I'm just kind of rambling on at this point, but I appreciate you all being here so much and hanging out. It's really cool. And hit that like button if you haven't already. I know we do have 65 likes and 48 in here. Great ratio, but you know, if you haven't hit it, just go ahead and hit that button. No big deal. Please drink responsibly. Absolutely. So Keith says, I've pared back my collection, given a bunch away that I will never drink. I have no interest in them. The bourbon market is getting lame, overhyped, and overpriced. I've been buying wine recently. And Keith, I agree with that. Like, and it's something I've been kind of saying maybe too much. It's just that and it's what you say, man. It's kind of, I kind of got it from you in some ways. And it took me a little bit of time to realize it, which is just that store picks are the most exciting thing out there and craft distilleries. And everything else has become so damn predictable. Now, the Starlight finished stuff, I have a soft spot for that. Keith, I know you weren't so into that. You said I had some youth on it. It absolutely does. But the Starlight finished stuff, some of the Good Times finished stuff, I have a bunch of those on the way to see if that's a thing I'm going to get into. And if the 4 different picks that I have on the way are not good, then I will not be buying any more Good Times finished stuff. But otherwise, yeah, it's like store picks and craft distilleries. Like the Driftless Glen, this thing just shocks me day in and day out about how good it is. That's an awesome comment. Yeah. Amy, I'm so with you. Let's go, Carl. I mean, dude, I'm telling you, this channel was always supposed to be a Scotch channel, and it is what it is now. In 6 months, this might be just a full-time Scotch channel. I mean, who knows? Alrighty. Let's do this comparison now. So let's talk about it very quickly here. I won't lose track of which is which because I know the color difference now. So Glenmorangie recently released, I haven't looked at the press release or anything like that, but they recently released Glenmorangie X, okay? And if you are at all Scotch drinkers, you know Glenmorangie, the brand. If you're a bourbon drinker, you probably have heard at least of Glenmorangie. This is sort of a standard, I would say, top 5 popular Scotches on planet Earth. You know, right up there with Johnny Walker, which is a blend, Glenfiddich, Glenlivet, you know, Glenmorangie, like I'm saying, and I don't know, you could put a lot of things in that 5th spot there. But Glenmorangie is a very tropical, fruit-forward Scotch, a very desserty, sweet type Scotch. There's no peat involved here whatsoever. It's not smoky, no Band-Aid or rubbery notes. And the traditional Glenmorangie, where did I put it? Down here. The traditional Glenmorangie is a 10-year. It's called the original. And I believe the maturation here is in a combination of ex-bourbon and new white American oak casks. I think it's a combination. If not, then it's all ex-bourbon. But there are no sherry casks being blended in here. And again, this is a perfect example of the distillery profile of being very pineapple, tropical fruit forward, green apple, kind of easygoing and light. It's my introductory Scotch for anybody. Now, they released this X, and they're saying specifically on the label, made for mixing. And you can see it right here, made for mixing. It comes in at 40% ABV, so it's barely legal. The standard bottling is 43% ABV with a 10-year age statement. The X does not carry a 10-year age statement, although it says X, which is 10. So I don't know. But anyways, the prices are very comparable. Daniel P says that the X is actually more expensive as a mixing Scotch than the 10-year original in his area. I think around here, they're basically the same price. Either way, it's an apt comparison here because To me, Glenmorangie has been doing great things. Let me show you this particular bottle. It's the Glenmorangie cake, and you can see the marketing they've done here. No other Glenmorangie marketing has touched the realm of these bright colors, this very sort of modern, hip look. Nothing else has done this until Glenmorangie cake. After cake, they've now released this X, this mixing scotch. Here's the cake bottle. I mean, it's hilarious, and actually, I really like it. But I'm curious to see, like, what the deal is with this mixer scotch that they've got. Now, you can see the color of this is actually a little bit darker. Let me do it this way. So over here is the 10-year, and over here is the mixer. It's kind of hard to tell, but the mixer is a shade darker. These both have caramel coloring added. They're both non-chill filtered, so they've added a little more caramel coloring to the mixer, probably to make it look a little darker and a little richer on the shelf with this really hype, bright branding. That's what I would expect. All right, so I think it's all marketing, but I want to see if it backs it up in terms of taste, because I tasted it the other day on a patron video, and I thought it was fine. I thought it was a entry-level Glenmorangie, you know, what you would expect. So let's try this out here. I'm going to start with the 10-year on the nose. A little bit of mintiness, a little bit of like menthol. Yeah, like a white cake, white chocolate. Bright sort of pear notes, maybe a little green apple, but it's mostly these sort of like, yeah, pear notes, I guess. Pineapple. And just a ton of vanilla, right? So that's the 10-year original. Now let's go to the mixer version, 3% ABV less, with no age statement. Okay, so this is much more cakey and malty. Like it's more honey, more white cake, and more of just that malty backbone here. Yeah, overall it's sweeter. So this is interesting because the 10-year has a little bit more of a crisp, fruity tartness and tang to it. But it does have the white cake notes and a little bit of a white chocolate and vanilla. And then the mixer, the Glenmorangie X, relies just very heavily on these cakey, very sweet notes. So in some ways, I would think that a mixer, you might want to have some of that fruity tang because it's going to cut through the mixer a little bit more. But on the other hand, you want something that's extremely easygoing and kind of blends into the background and is not offensive to anybody's palate who is new to Scotch. So I could see this going both ways here. So let me taste the 10-year. Now keep in mind, this 10-year has been open for about a year, and there's just a ton of air in the bottle. But it still retains that tartness of the fruit along with those notes. And now let's go to the Glenmorangie X. Oh, yeah. The palate is completely flat on the X. Wow, it's weird. It's like it's almost like something is like struggling to happen on the palate with the Glenmorangie X, and it just doesn't come through. It's so muted. That's weird. That is so interesting. It's like the whiskey has no life to it. So, Daniel, to answer your question, Glenmorangie 10 all the way, even as a mixer probably. Now, I'm going to do a review of the Glenmorangie X. I'll put it next to the 10-year in that review, and then I'm going to make, at least I'm planning on making, the cocktails that the Glenmorangie X lists in this little booklet here on the bottle. So there's like 3 different cocktails. I want to make them and see with their recipes how it ends up being, and then maybe make the same cocktails with the Glenmorangie 10-year and see which one is better. I think that would be a good comparison. So that's the plan for Glenmorangie X. Now, look, I don't like the fact that they're putting, now that I've realized it, kind of crappy whiskey in this very marketed bottle. But I do like the fact that they're going to get people into Scotch by doing it. At least I hope so. I hope it's a gateway drug to softening the entry into the world of Scotch, which can seem daunting and can seem too expensive. So, yeah. Anyways, That's what I would have to say about that. If you want a heavily marketed Glenmorangie Scotch that actually tastes really good, get the Tale of Cake. If it's still around in your area, it's a limited release. This stuff is very, very good. It tastes like a pineapple upside down cake. Well, I mean, I think it's all relative, right? I mean, these are the only two scotches I'm drinking right now. If you pulled out anything else from my shelf, I'd probably take it over the Glenmorangie 10. But it's Keith. You got to stop this. No, Keith. You just need to get the right scotch. Let's see. Keith, man, you're high rolling on that. You got some really good pours there. I'm sure. I've never had probably the batches you've got or the Smoke Wagon, but damn, I'm sure that's amazing. Daniel, cake is so good, man. It really is. Now, all these Glenmorangies tend to get really tannic and really sour as the bottles open up, which is something that I just wish they could avoid. I don't know what the air is doing to the scotch to make it turn the way that it is and get so tart and so sour. But I think when I opened cake, it was fantastic. And now where it's at in the bottle, you know, it's about halfway down. Yeah, it just gets a little bit tart. Okay. Mark, you know, just the integrity of adding coloring to scotch, I just think is BS. I get why people do it. And then the part of me that wants more people to like scotch, because I think it's so underappreciated in the whiskey community, especially in the United States, the part of me that says, well, maybe people are going to judge it on the color. It's like, well, maybe you could add the color. Now, have I ever noticed a taste difference? I don't know. And I don't know that you really can unless you have a sample side by side of something colored and uncolored that is the exact same stuff. Then you could have a point of reference to make that judgment call. Otherwise, I don't know. I don't know if you can taste it. So I see both sides of it, and I think we need to be level-headed about it. It's easy to go, oh, screw them. They added color to the scotch. Yeah, but there's probably a reason why they're doing. And the same with chill filtering. I mean, I think chill filtering is a little more of a sin than adding color because you actually will lose flavor. At least most people believe so by doing that. But the idea of, again, someone picking up the bottle and buying it, that's important too. Not only for their bottom line, but also for the longevity of people drinking scotch, you know. Lasanta, I don't like Glenmorangie Lasanta. I feel like the Glenmorangie profile does not do well with sherry finishing. I think other distilleries' profiles do better in a sherry cask. It doesn't really compare to the Lasanta for me, just because it's a totally different animal when you introduce that sherry finish. But, you know, to each their own. I know a lot of people that love the Glenmo Lasanta. I think it's because Glenmorangie's profile underneath the sherry finish is so bright and fruity and easygoing. But I like a heavier malt to then get finished in sherry casks that can really handle the sherry finish, you know? Right, Colin, and that's a great point. That's a really great point. Problem with coloring is that it usually misleads you as to how active the casks are, you know, the quality of the casks, right? Or just how much influence it's going to have over the spirit itself. Adding color can make you think that you've got something that's more heavily sherried, for instance. I mean, that's a big one when you start adding coloring in that realm, or, you know, yeah, there's just a lot of different directions you can go with this. But that's a really, really great point. Carl, also a great point. Talking about the beautiful color. Yeah, when it is colored, that's just stupid. And I agree with that, Keith. I do agree with that. Because who is going to buy the premium bottles? The people that know their shit, right? I mean, 9 times out of 10, unless it's somebody who's just trying to impress their friends who has too much money. And those people exist too. David. Gosh, I killed my Glenmorangie 18 probably 9 months ago, and I haven't gotten another one. So I couldn't really speak to that right now. I'd have to have a fresh pour of it because my palate has developed so much in that time. But I remember really enjoying the 18. I do. I think for me, the standout of the Glenmorangie line, probably the Quinta Ruban or Quinta Ruban or however you want to say it. The old bottlings, the 12-year version of that, those are standouts for me from Glenmorangie. I think it's fantastic. Thank you for the birthday wishes, man. I appreciate it. Okay. There was something else. Someone had asked for a comparison, and I think I can probably do it. I'm in good enough shape, I think, to do a final comparison before we jump off here. And I can't remember what it was. I think it was on this shelf. Crap. What was it? Hey, who asked for a comparison? It was bourbon, I thought. And it was good bourbon, I thought, too. And I want to drink some good bourbon. I haven't had any Chateau de la Baude, though. I kind of want some Chateau de la Baude. Crap, what was that comparison? Someone remind me if you guys remember. Let's see. I'm scrolling up in the chat here. I think I'm getting close here to where it was. Oh, Mark, thank you for the super chat, man. And thanks for the birthday wishes. I appreciate it. I'm up in the chat right now trying to find something. Someone asked for another comparison, but I can't find it. So, okay. Yeah, thank you, Mark. I'm going to pour. Okay, I'll have a final pour here of Chateau de la Baude, and that will be that. I've got to say, my favorite bottle, Keith, this is not to your question. Your question just kind of made me think of this, and my patrons have heard this already. But one of my favorite bottles that I have been drinking recently, oddly enough, let me grab it, is this High West Burai 2017. I do not know what it is about the 2017 batch of this stuff. I just stocked up. I got 3 more of these. It is amazing. So I have an 2018 open. I have a 2017 open. And I have a 2019 on the way. I have a couple of those on the way. This 2017 is just amazing MGP stuff. Just excellently blended. Even at 92 proof. This is like kind of my go-to sipper right now. So 2017 Burai. Fantastic. In terms of store picks in my collection, let me think about that as I take my water shot. This is exciting. I don't get to drink Chateau de la Baude every day. Store picks, man. Gosh. Do I even have any good store pick? I mean, the Driftless Glen is a standout for me, but I don't know that it's my favorite store pick, you know? Daniel says, I don't know how you do these without... You kind of get dialed in to a point, you know? The minute I stand up, I'm going to have to pee, though. Jay, the name of the long stem glasses... these are Luigi Bormioli. So Luigi, as you would spell it, and then Bormioli, Bormioli. And I got these from Amazon. You buy them in 6-packs, and they're about $50 maybe for a 6-pack or something like that. It's not bad. And these are excellent. These are my favorite Scotch glasses of all time. I just wish the base was not as wide. The base is like awkwardly fat on these bottles, but the stem is really dainty and delicate, and the size of the bulb here is perfect for nosing Scotch, in my opinion. It's not good for bourbon, I don't think. So I have a really fantastic Knob Creek 15. I have, oh, you know what? This might be it. I have a really fantastic 1792 foolproof pick. And I'm thinking about some of the MGP stuff I have as well. But I think most of the MGP that I have that I really like, they're not necessarily store picks. I have a backbone pick that is 4 years old and is disproportionately good for how young it is. I haven't sent samples to that to anybody because I only have one of them. And it's a really special bottle. You know what? I would say my favorite store pick, Keith. I'm sorry to beat this like a dead horse. Dave Rosas just sent me this Four Roses OESQ single barrel. It's a tier 6. I can't even believe the flavors I get off of it. So that might be my favorite store pick right now. But the Knob Creek 15 that I've got over there is a definitely like a safe bet. Yeah, so I actually have someone bringing me back 2 2019 Burais from New York right now. That's where I'm getting those, and they're $80 on the shelf. But I heard the sales tax is kind of a lot, but that's okay. Luigi Bormioli have super beefy rocks glasses too. Interesting. I do like peated scotch, but Amy, admittedly, I haven't been drinking very much scotch lately, and I would love to get back into it a little bit more. My favorite peateds that I've had, gosh, I think the Kilkerran stuff, the Springbank stuff. I mean, I'm just a sucker for Campbelltown, unfortunately, for my wallet and for availability. I'm a Campbelltown sucker. I had some Aaron. I had some Aaron yesterday. I've never had any Aaron scotches. It was the 14, the old bottling of the 14. I think the new stuff, they don't quite have the 14 in the new style yet. Maybe they do, but I'm not sure. The guy I was drinking with said they did not. The Aaron 14 was great. It was very, very lightly peated. And the Octomore stuff. Carlo Mack sent me some Octomore samples that just blew my face off. I thought they were amazing. Oh, Daniel P., thank you for reminding me. Boom. Thank you for reminding me. All right. What's up, Kevin Lynch? Good to see you. Thanks for jumping in. Well, I don't even know what I have poured out here. Guys, what did I pour? This is Chateau. Yeah, this is Chateau de la Baude, but what is this? This is training for my nose. Oh, it's Stag Junior Batch 15. Okay. I should know that. Octomore bougie palette. No, man, look, I don't own any Octomore bottles, but it is really fantastic. I think that I've said fantastic a lot tonight. I'm sorry. I don't know why that's in my vocabulary suddenly. Ardbeg is amazing stuff. I just don't have a lot of the Ardbeg line. So I need to kind of go through and buy a lot of the Ardbeg stuff and get back into that. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, Kevin. Whiskey issues. What the heck is this? I know it's like you have like all these bottles and glasses surrounding you. Oh, Port Charlotte 10. I have a sample of this from Lido. I think it's from Lido. He sent it to me. I could have some of that. Probably not tonight. I've had quite a bit tonight. I wanted to see Sarah tonight, but unfortunately she's probably asleep by now, I would imagine. But yeah, she goes to bed pretty early. Yeah, and Keith, along with the Burai, I have an uncut, unfiltered coming from New York State. Okay, 7 to 10%. Okay. All right, so guys, I'm going to wrap my night up here. This is that Chateau de la Baude pour. What is it? 59 point something. 59.2. Just for what it may lack, which is not much, if it lacks anything, the Chateau de la Baude is my favorite whiskey that I own. It just always will be. It has a special place in my heart, and I just love this stuff so freaking much. So, cheers to all of you. Thank you guys for hanging out tonight. What? Dang. Dang, that's a good lineup. The pirate bottles are amazing. They are just really, really good. All right, guys. Well, hey, any final thoughts? Any final comments here or questions? Or, I would do another comparison, but I got to be careful. I have a rehearsal at 2 p.m. tomorrow, but load-in time around noon, which means I got to pack my car. I haven't practiced any of my music for this weekend for these shows, so I need to look through these charts and figure out, what I'm playing on drum set and then what I'm playing on the Michael Bolton portion of the show. It's easy stuff. It's just like some, mallet notes here and there and just little effect sounds. But I got to look through it, and I've got a couple of little drum set parts to look at in the morning. So I got to wake up at a decent hour, which I've not been doing recently. Daniel, have you had it? I don't know if you've had it. If you have or haven't, I don't even care if you haven't had it. To me, it's one of the most special bottles I've ever had. And they keep going up in price. And as they do, I'm like, shit, I know I'm going to buy another one of these. So let's not buy it at $550 or $600. Let's buy it at $500, Yeah, man. This is one of those that I really would want to send you a sample, but I just might not, because it's like, maybe I will. But I back a couple months ago, I sent out a lot of Chateau samples, and then I was like, oh my God, I just sampled out like too many ounces of my one open bottle that I have, with my one backup. So it is a fantastic whiskey. Yeah, but you really got to like that Armagnac finish, but it's amazing. Yeah, it is crazy. And I hope the bubble pops, but I'm afraid that the bubble's just going to keep growing right now. Take care of business, man. If I don't catch you again beforehand, happy birthday, dude. Enjoy. Thank you. Kevin, if I don't catch you again beforehand. Kevin, who is this? A Kevin that I know personally? Kevin Lynch? Am I like tripping right now? Kevin Lynch? Or is that like a middle name or something? Or do I feel like an idiot, Kevin. Am I missing something here? Do we know each other? Oh, the giveaway. Oh, yeah. Geez. April 120. I looked you up in my email, man. Really pumped about the Sam Houston. Okay, sorry. When you said that, it made me think that you were someone in the symphony for some reason. And I was like, oh my God, am I like totally tripping out right now? Okay. Because it doesn't matter. But it reminded me of somebody that I know. And I was like, oh my gosh, do I have their name wrong? Okay. I'm sorry, Kevin. We have communicated via email before. Okay. Anyways, sheesh. Because sometimes people will. Yeah, yes, and I remember this now. No, I just thought when you said that, I was like, oh my gosh, is this like Kevin Fitzgerald or Kevin Holtzman or another Kevin that is a good friend of mine who like maybe has their middle name in their YouTube thing, which a lot of people do. They have like alternate names. I was like, oh my gosh. No, okay. That makes sense, Kevin. I apologize for the confusion, man. Okay, Larceny Barrel Proof B521 is going to drop tomorrow, probably evening, because I have this rehearsal to contend with. So I'm going to wake up, edit, practice, rehearse, finish editing, drop the video, hopefully before people are doing live streams and stuff, before the craziness starts, around 8 or 9 p.m. So keep an eye out for that. Oh, catch me before my birthday. Okay. Thanks, man. All right, guys. Cheers. I'm going to jump out of here. Appreciate you all for being here. Thanks for the super chats, buying into the giveaway. Awesome prizes for everybody. And I'll see you all next time. There's not going to be a live stream next Thursday night. I have a rehearsal. I might do a pop-up live stream. I tend to do those on Mondays, on Sundays. I tend to do those. So there might be a live stream on Sunday. Patrons, look out for a live stream, patron only coming up. Those are obviously on Mondays and stuff like that. So just keep an eye out on all that stuff. The channel is revving back up again, which is really nice. I've got a lot of content on the way. I'm super stoked. So cheers, everybody. I'll see you next time. And I will see Carl, you're crazy. I'll see you guys later. I'll see you later. Bye. Love you. Cheers. Chateau de la Bade.